Hello, everybody. Mika, you were just when we went live, you're like, oh, I don't know. I kind of want to stand up now. So, hello, everybody. Say hello, Casper. Oh, Casper walked away. How's everybody doing? Mika, look up here. Look at the camera. What you doing? Okay, you look uncomfortable. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hello, hello, everyone. How we all doing? Oh, and we lost Casper. She gone. Mika content very early. Oh, now you're back. Are you lagging? Because Mika got off my chair a minute ago.
It's because I moved. Oh my goodness, my audio did the thing again. But I fixed it.
Your mic quality is definitely below par
Huh?
right now. I said your mic quality is below what it normally is right now.
To do the thing again. Whatever I did on Saturday. Hold on.
I mean, it's fine. It's not like bad or anything. It's like very
No, I just
slightly.
genuinely forgot what I did. Oh.
Did you do a thing? Because if you did a thing and you're talking right now, I can't hear you. Oh, say it again.
Is that better? Can you hear me a little better?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I fixed my sound with you.
Yay. Hooray. Hooray. Tiny started late today. Real late. Let's see. Got a whole list of shit to go over. A lot happened. And even one of them, we still have even one Israel related thing, which is nice. We don't want to lose that forever. That's fun content. Get a lot of good disagreements on that one. Let's see if there's some good stuff to watch on YouTube while we wait for the stragglers to come on now. Nothing there.
I hear you.
Hi.
Hi. I fixed it.
Oh.
I actually heard that pop. Oh my goodness. I could not hear you at all for like the first few minutes. I don't know why it does that.
I guess
It's only on
some
your
Epstein CCTV shit was released.
Yeah?
Oh. Did you not hear about the updates to Epstein?
I heard the DOJ said that there are no Epstein files.
There's
Like,
no
people
list. There's no list, even though
no
Pam
list.
Bondi said she had it on her desk.
Yeah.
The final.
Let's see what they show here. Okay.
Screen.
I don't care about you, James Halpin. So that's it? That's what we got? Him being led to his cell? Wow.
I deafened myself for nothing. All it was.
And he's walking. And he's walking. And there he is walking. And some more walking. Wow. So no bombshells here. What a surprise!
Oh, they cut out the rest. So how did he die? Supposedly he was hung?
He hung himself, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. I wish I could just get. God, I hate this. It's like on YouTube you can't find anything anymore. Like you can't just find the basic video of something. No, you can only get the video with some fucking goober talking over it. Like, what if I just want to watch the video myself before I listen to somebody's analysis, you know? I guess, here we go. CoffeeZilla. Let's see what CoffeeZilla has to say.
That's missing from Jeffrey Epstein's footage. We're talking about the mystery man that appears after lockdown. Who is it? We'll try to get into it because it's not mentioned in the 2023 OIG report. Now, just yesterday, we already talked about the DOJ FBI memo that was obtained by Axios saying that Epstein killed himself, that you guys should stop making conspiracy theories because Kash Patel and Dan Bongino would never lie to you. Even though previously they said, yeah, it's probably, there's a cover-up. Now they're saying there definitely is.
Well, because they were using it as leverage in their thing. It was to their benefit. But now that it looks like he's trying to hide something, now they're like, oh, well, I guess the official story is actually right. Because now it looks worse for him. But they painted themselves into a corner. It was really stupid the way they went about this in the first place.
No cover-up. And in fact, the FBI director, Kash Patel, went on Joe Rogan to tell everybody, you guys are crazy, and we're going to release the inside the jail cell footage proving it.
And you're going to get the video of the cell, and you're going to see for yourself. And we will never be able to convince everyone.
So apparently, we're going to get footage of the cell, which is why when the DOJ dropped a 10-hour video during the time of Epstein's death, people understandably thought this was footage of his cell. Here's what this looks like. It's CCTV footage, but this is not actually Epstein's cell, nor is this door. This is footage of a common area. Epstein's door is way back over.
They don't have an Epstein list. They literally said there was no client list now. That is what Pam Bondi is saying. Oh, yeah, okay. There you go.
Over here in the corner, you can't see it from this footage angle. But you'd understandably not know that because of the way Kash Patel made it sound. He made it sound like we're definitely dropping the real video. You're going to get outside a periscope view of Epstein's cell.
There's just no way that you could have run an op and had people go into that cell and not have any video of it and not have any people come out and say, hey, yeah, I saw that guy. He shouldn't have been there, the guard or this guy. There's just no access points into places like this in the detention center he was in. If they had gotten into the cell, you would see it.
But we were told that the cameras were down.
Well, I don't know who said that.
But that was in the news.
Yeah, it was in the news. It's also in the OIG's actual report. Like, the government report admits that most of the cameras were not recording. Now, I'm going to show you which
That's
cameras
kind of
were
why
and were not
we have this angle, right? That's why we don't have like a direct one of the cell, is because a bunch of the cameras were off.
reporting. I'm going to show you the exact angles of these cameras. But I want to draw your attention to one of the weirdest things in all of this footage, which is just the fact that there's a minute of it missing. You're going to want to look at this time, and you'll see in about 3 seconds it will jump, and the framing will change.
Weird.
So there you can see there was a cut or some kind of edited footage. And it obviously begs the question, why is there a minute missing from the FBI's, like, prove it tape? But also, what does this tape even prove? As I said, this is not...
We get the minute, and it actually, you watch, like, Donald Trump walk in, go to the cell, and then leave.
Epstein's cell, nor is this his cell. We're going to show you what that actually looks like. Here's the framing we see, and now we're going to compare that to the official report, June 2023, of Epstein's cell. They lay out a structure of the jail cell and the jail itself, and here you can see it's a two-leveled system. There's a lower tier, there's an upper tier, and Epstein was in the L tier, okay? Here is where the camera actually was that we're seeing. We're going to go ahead and go through this so you can see that's what it looks like. There's upper floor, lower floor. Epstein was located on the upper floor in what's called the L tier, okay, which is right here. You can see it even better from here. Here's Epstein's cell. Here's the hallway. And right here is the camera, which was not recording. Unlike what Kash Patel sort of insinuates that they're going to release that footage, they don't have that footage. According to them, the recording wasn't working. It was streaming, but not recording. The footage apparently had the DVR system stopped working about 10 days before all of this happened. This is in their own report. That's not me saying that. Around July 29th, I believe, it stopped recording as it was supposed to. Now, here's where you can see what
And my
actually was
understanding
recording
is
the...
this prison in particular has like a history. For years, those cameras have been going down from time to time. So this is not exactly a outlier.
day of. So you can see this is the camera that we have access to, and it's looking this way. So that camera footage we see is not of Epstein's cell at all. You can't see it. Instead, this is the guard station over here, and the staircase is like this little, like 3 pixels right there. So it's an actual joke if you think that this footage somehow had a perfect line of sight of Epstein's jail cell, and you couldn't have run an op right, even during the missing 1 minute window, because, oh, we had a perfect line of sight on his door. They don't. They don't, and the cameras were not recording. As testified here, like, and it's crazy, the FBI director is spreading misinformation going, oh, I don't know who told you that. You guys told us that. These cameras right here are streaming, but not recording. You can see it right there. There's Epstein's cell. That's the camera that would have been on.
Yeah, the big problem here is, like, it seems to me like this release matches up with, like, the initial official investigation. But like their messaging on all of this has been so fucking stupid because it was all political for them to like get votes and win, that they painted themselves into a dumbass corner. And now it's coming back to bite them. Which, like, eventually it would. They make all these promises, which are lies, based on lies.
It doesn't matter because the Democrats block whether or not they know they're lies, whether or not the people know that they're lies. It doesn't matter because all they have to say is, "Oh, the Democrats stopped us," and they don't have to go into any
they can't
elaborate-
say that now because they're in charge, and that's why a lot of people are like calling them out on this. A lot of right wingers are calling them out on this.
They can't do anything about it, and we wanted to do this, but Biden and Hunter Biden stopped us 5 years ago.
Yeah, when they were in power. Yeah, I mean it's just
When they were in.
it's
It
not.
doesn't matter because people aren't going to look that hard. And
I
not
mean,
gonna hold these
even
people accountable.
MAGA Daniel was like, "Yeah, this is fucked. There's something fucky going on here." And I don't necessarily, I don't know, right? I don't know if there's something fucky going on there. What I think, as of right now, based on the information that we've been given, right, without like going into conspiracies and wildly speculating, it seems like the official story appears to have been correct. They made all of these claims about what they, all these conspiracies and all this bullshit because it helped them rile up the base. And now when the bill comes due, right, they don't have the goods to show for it. And so they look fucking stupid.
On him, it's not there, and yet he goes in front of millions of people and tells people otherwise. It's so irresponsible.
The cell. And if they had gotten into the cell, you would see it.
But we were told that the cameras were down.
Well, I don't know who said that.
But that was in the news.
Yeah, again, it wasn't just in the news.
Well, because
it was
the camera.
in the government's report. Okay, so that's that. So now we're gonna see the camera.
So I think what they said was the camera that was looking at his cell was down, and it does appear based on this that might be the case. We don't know if they have like another angle that they're keeping out, but yeah, it does appear to be the case.
That we're actually getting footage of, right? So this is a video. You can see that's cell 46. Here's the camera that was recording, and you can see it highlighted here. You'll also be able to see that the staircase is partially obstructed because of this wall right here, okay? So these tiny 3 pixels are seeing the edge of the staircase. Here's where they even highlight it for you. Again, this is not my diagram. This is the government's own diagram. This is the stairway to Epstein's cell. Here's the officer station, as we stated. And here's the non-recording camera. Again, this is the government and looking at Epstein's cell. According to them, there had been catastrophic disk failures and no recordings would have been available after July 29th, 2019. And of course, all of this happened on August 9th to the 10th, 2019. Now, an important thing is this mystery man that comes up
that, like,
in
want to
the
take down
footage.
the pedophiles
Because
are so loud, but whenever it comes to the fucking hypocrisy about the Epstein files, it's just silence.
Actually, to give them some credit, some of them have been really heavily criticizing them for this. Like, I think Joe Rogan was one. I think Ben Shapiro might have been one. Like, they've definitely been criticizing some of these dudes, for sure. Not all of them, but yeah.
I was kind of thinking this footage kind of didn't show anything. It definitely doesn't show that nobody was there because you can't really see it. The important cameras are missing, and there are ways to get in or through the staircase without people seeing you, which we'll kind of go over here. I think the idea that this was a perfect view of the staircase is just completely wrong, obviously. But there was also a whole narrative by the government that everybody was in their jail cell by 8 p.m. This is according to the staff. They say at approximately 8 p.m. August 9th, all
Do we
inmates
know
were locked
if that person wasn't a guard, the one that we see in the video?
in their cells for the evening, and there was no indication that
looked like a
any
guard
other
to me,
inmate could
but-
have gotten out of their.
What?
It looked like a guard to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because he was like wearing
But,
black
like,
or
I was
whatever.
going in completely blind.
Yeah.
cells. Epstein didn't have an inmate, so hence the idea is there's no way anyone could have gotten in there because everyone was locked up, right? Of course, we know now that some of the guards allegedly were either asleep or they deny that and they say they may have dozed off. Either way, what is for sure is that they didn't perform their checkups on the inmates. In fact, they falsified records to this, and they say no CO had checked on Epstein from approximately 10:40 p.m. on August 9th until 6:30 a.m. when Epstein was found. But this 10:40 p.m. is going to become extremely important because it turns out there was someone, what looks to be an inmate, out of his cell at 10:40 p.m. And the question is, who is that person? You can see this at 10:38 p.m. Remember, everyone's supposed to have been in their jail cell for 2.5 hours at this point. No prisoners. You can see a guard goes over to somewhere out of sight. We can't see it. None of the cameras were recording except for this one. And then moments later, we see a little bit of orange near the staircase. Now, I'm going to have to zoom into this. It's extremely hard to see. But you can see a little pixel of orange makes its way up the staircase, right? And then we're going to see the guard return to his chair, ostensibly locking someone up maybe at that time. But
Interesting.
who is that person, right? Because
don't know.
previously we
Can't
were
tell.
told that everyone was in their jail cell at 8 p.m. 2.5 hours later, the guards take someone up, or it looks like that. You know, it's hard to see, but there's some sort of orange something going up the staircase to
orange.
Epstein's cell
Trump confirmed.
block. But then if we cross-reference that with this recent
There were pixels of orange on a little sliver of pixels of orange going up the stairs. So I said Trump confirmed he was there.
Ah, yes.
memo, we can surmise who that was. It says the FBI's independent review of this footage confirmed from the time Epstein was locked in his cell around 10:40 p.m. on August 9th until 6:30 a.m., nobody entered any of the tiers of the shoe. So we're supposed to believe that Epstein now is that guy, the mystery man, who's outside of
we
his
don't
cell.
know that.
2.5
that is
hours
going up to his
after
block,
lockdown.
but, like, we
It's just
don't
sort
know.
of tossed in this memo here without any explanation, but it's never mentioned in the OIG's original report in 2023. In fact, the only thing that is mentioned is that Epstein was allowed an unmonitored phone call, which was against the rules, but he was allowed it anyways, and he returned to his cell after the call, which was at 7 p.m. So again, we were led to believe he was in his jail cell at 8 p.m. by the official report, and then now the FBI's kind of come out and in one line I said something quite remarkable, which is that several hours later, Epstein's returning to his cell, or somebody is. All we know, at least from this footage, all you can actually surmise from this is that somebody walked up those stairs at 10:40 p.m.
Exactly.
with the guard, because the guard leaves his desk, some orange jumpsuit goes up there, and then the guard comes back to his desk. Now, I want to be clear, the OIG report mentions 10:40 p.m. several times as basically the last time that a CO checked on Epstein. That's how it originally was framed. In fact, instead, they basically say that Noel, one of the guards, was actually carrying linen or inmate clothing up to the L tier, which was the last time any CO approached the only entrance to the shoe tier in which Epstein was
What
housed.
time did he supposedly
so their
die?
theory at the time.
Do they know, like, around the exact time?
Like 11 something, I thought.
Yeah, let me see. Okay, he was found at 6:30 a.m. Pronounced dead at 6:39. It doesn't say, I don't think. It doesn't say, at least on the Wikipedia. Yeah, it doesn't say.
I guess the theory was they were carrying up, they say inmate clothing. Basically, the idea is they're carrying up an orange jumpsuit. And that's why you see orange there at 10:40 p.m. That's the official story in 2023, was that they were carrying Epstein, somebody's clothing up. Now we are finding out that that wasn't carrying clothing up. That was actually Epstein.
It was actually Trump. It's too funny. Because the orange just works perfectly for this joke.
Himself, for some reason, was locked
pixels?
in his cell.
The orange pixels, yeah. Who else could it be?
At 10:40 p.m., way
Pretty
after
sure Trump
lockdown,
wouldn't
and we don't
actually
know
do it
why or
himself.
how
He doesn't like
any
to
of
get
this
his hands
happened.
dirty
And
unless
then we
his
know.
hands are on a porn star, so.
But the orange.
But the orange.
We're conspiracy braining right now, just for fun, okay?
Yeah, but I have the conspiracy brain, and even my tinfoil hat alarm isn't going off.
Well, I don't actually think that. I'm like, I'm memeing. Like, I'm fucking around.
True.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, like,
Oh, no.
here's
the conspiracy.
this was in
Here's the conspiracy
2019. Trump was probably, like, in the White House when this was happening.
Here's the thing. Trump got one of his people to wear a Trump mask or get the spray tan, right? Get the spray tan, so that way Trump could, like, pretend it was him to jerk off to.
There you go.
That's my tinfoil hat theory.
There we go. Okay, I like this one. Start spreading it through the right-wing news media.
All right.
Yeah, go tell Rogan so he can do one of those. Isn't it weird? Isn't it strange? Jamie,
Like
pull up the
orange
video. Jamie, pull up the video. Why is this orange? You know what else is orange? Trump.
From the same report that the guards made false statements and falsified records saying that they had made mandatory rounds and inmate counts when in fact they had not. So, does any of this mean for sure that the conspiracy theorists are right? No. It just means that this footage that they released and they hyped up and they said
It doesn't
on the
really
biggest
clear
podcast
much
platform
up.
in the world was going to prove everything.
Doesn't really clear
proves
much
nothing,
anything up.
and actually
Yeah.
raises more questions because it contradicts the official narrative that has been said, which is that everyone was in lockdown when they should have been and no one could have possibly entered the cell block. But actually someone did. Now they're saying that's Epstein in a memo after hours for some mysterious reason the night of his death.
That's so
Why?
weird.
No answers. But don't look
That
into
is
it.
pretty
You're
fucking
conspiracy-
weird.
You're crazy
But
guy. By
whatever.
the way, got a shout out. Last chance to get the merch. We've only got a few days left on it. If
Okay. Let's see. What else? What else do we want to look at? Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. So this was pretty crazy. I don't know if you heard about this. That ICE came in like full force with like full on military shit to MacArthur Park here in LA. Some crazy shit. And I think my understanding is they didn't even pick anybody up.
Welcome back. We have breaking news here. This is in MacArthur Park. Scott Reif is in Air 7 HD. And Scott, we have a lot going on. We haven't seen much in the way of detentions at this point, but we see a lot of confrontation. What are you seeing?
Absolutely. There's a lot of activity and a big deployment here, bigger than we've really seen in the past for the most part.
Yeah,
the armored vehicles
lots of
traveling
military.
Right
they just
Park
rolled
now. You
right
see a lot
into
of people,
LA.
Trying to antagonize them, if you will. Coming
I
into
get the
vehicle,
feeling
stopping it.
they didn't really take many people in. I get the feeling this is Trump trying to be like, yeah, I'm saying the military. I can do what I want. This is scary shit, man. I don't like this at all. I do not like this. Not one bit. Not a single iota.
And LAPD has just responded. It looks like LAPD is going to be involved in some crowd control. You see them there on the bottom of your screen, but we'll push back into the armored vehicles. One of the things that is so difficult, these agents are not identified. You can't tell if it's ICE. You can't tell if it is National Guard. We had a convoy of National Guard vehicles go through here a few moments ago, and they left. We have 4 or 5 bands standing
Is
by.
that a dude on a
Well,
scooter? Is that a dude in PJ bottoms on a scooter? My guy. This is probably not a great idea for you.
and then all the other unmarked vehicles. You can see the crowd is getting closer and closer to what could be ICE agents. We don't know that for certain, but in the past when we've seen this type of activity, that is what it has been. But as you mentioned, we haven't seen anyone detained. We haven't seen these agents go out into the crowd and try and grab anyone, and it looks like now they may be moving through. Interestingly enough, earlier we had a report that the Karen Mayor Bass was here.
Did he say interestling?
And try and grab anyone, and it looks like now they may be moving through. Interestingly enough.
Ooh, interestling. Yikes. Yikes, buddy.
Earlier we had a report that the Karen Mayor Bass was here for a short period of time, and then we believe she left. Whether she just stumbled across this or she planned to come here and let people know that ICE may be involved in this activity. If it is ICE, is unclear. But certainly there's a lot of activity here, and you could tell a lot of the crowd is getting extremely close to these vehicles, and that's a problem, and that's why LAPD has responded. It looks like they're going to try and eventfully try and make sure the crowd does not get too close to some of those vehicles. Usually LAPD does not assist, but they will be involved in crowd control, and that appears
How about
to be
you
what's
take
happening.
your military level force and fuck
Scott,
off out of my
again,
city?
We're looking at this. We don't exactly know why these federal agents are here. And we don't actually know exactly what agency they're with, correct?
That is correct. It makes it extremely difficult when
This is
they
crazy,
are not
dude.
identified. We don't
Why?
see,
Why is
anything on
this
the armored
happening?
vehicle. We don't see any of the other vehicles marked with identification, just police. Nothing but police. No specific agency, no FBI. And it looks like now they are rolling through and leaving. We don't believe any detentions or arrests were made. We didn't see anything like that. But it was interesting. They
No
have a
detentions
Black
or
Hawk
arrests. So, like, what are you doing? You're just trying to flex your military muscle in an American city towards American citizens. Like, what fucking Twilight Zone backwards ass episode of Star Trek are we living in right now?
Helicopter, DHS's Homeland Security's helicopter is overhead. LAPD did respond. They rolled through and then they just left. But at one point in time, there was probably as many as 30 National Guard vehicles that drove through the streets. And boy, to see that on our streets, it's the first time I've really seen that many National Guard vehicles. I mean, large vehicles. They're big vehicles strolling through the neighborhood, down through our streets. That was certainly unusual. It looks like whatever activity is going on now is dissipating. It appears that they are leaving, and it looks like LAPD may be leaving as well. But it was touch and go for a moment there. It's unclear if any
Not
arrests or
LAPD.
detentions had
LAPD
been
can
made.
stay.
Well,
I
Scott,
trust
the
LAPD.
National Guard was what I was going to ask you about a moment ago, because it almost looked, because you mentioned it, but there were a lot of National Guard, heavy, a police officer almost hitting people in the street
Jesus
there. Again,
Christ,
that is
dude.
odd. But it's almost as if something was scheduled that maybe was canceled.
It appears that
He
that
almost
could be
fucking
the case.
hit a
That
guy.
very well could be. It was a large deployment of what appears to be ICE, federal agents of some time before. That police officer
Yeah, that
swerved
was
right at one
strange.
of those people on the street. I mean, I've really never seen anything like that, where they intentionally tried to almost hit someone on the street. That was quite unusual.
Bro.
But as you mentioned, there was an extremely large deployment here of federal agents. They have left now. Now, whether they had scheduled some type of huge raid in this area and then somehow it got counteracted by people knowing about it and they left, but it was certainly very unusual to saw what we saw here over the last 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, very intimidating presence when we saw it just in the commercial.
I don't
break
like
before
that.
we,
I really
got to
don't
your live
fucking
report. It
like
was
this. This is
interesting to
just,
see. It was
we
just
should
a
not,
caravan of
this
so
should
many
never be normalized. I hope
military
this is never
vessels
normalized.
and
We should
large
never be
ones. You
okay
know, they're
with
full
the
of,
military
people
rolling
inside.
through our
So
own
again,
cities, with
we're watching
military
this, we're
level
monitoring
force
this.
rolling through our
Again,
cities.
we watched that LAPD cruiser really kind of getting slightly aggressive out there. I know that people are frustrated and people are jaywalking and probably hindering law enforcement, but again, you don't want things to get escalate.
Bro,
that's
like,
the last thing anybody.
But the problem, the thing that drives me fucking nuts is like people wouldn't be acting this way if you weren't bringing like military fucking units into the city. People see that and that riles them up and that gets them pissed off, like rightly so. If you weren't doing that kind of shit, you weren't going to be seeing people get riled up and make it worse. Just like work with the LAPD, do things understated, and you'll be able to get the job done. Like, you're just making it worse for yourself. It's so stupid. How is it that these same guys who were like politically savvy enough to take control of all the crazy rhetoric and turn it into an election win can't figure out that they make the problem worse by rolling the military through? This isn't some fucking place that's been a dictatorship like forever. This is the United States of America. We don't like that shit. We don't like it. Okay? We don't like it here. And they're not going to react positively to that. If you had somebody with half a brain working with ICE, working with Department of Homeland Security and DOJ, what branch is this? What do you mean? ICE? Pretty sure ICE is the executive branch.
Oh no, I think he's saying like what branch of the military is like down there right now.
So, I don't think I was. So I said the military or military type vehicles or military force. If you just got in, you wouldn't have heard me say that. I said that earlier. If I only said the military, then I wasn't couching my full statement. Because we don't exactly know at this point. All we know is that it's military equipment, military vehicles.
It's out here.
Yeah, the danger of people in the street, especially when we saw the federal agents in the street, how confrontational people were. And it did seem as if the officers, in a sense, maybe, Scott, trying to send
If
them
it was the military, I would guess it was an extension of their deployment of the National Guard. But it may also be ICE because they're like funding the shit out of ICE and they may be giving them, military level equipment.
message. I don't think they were even close to trying to hit the person, but they were certainly trying to get people to get out of the street. Because this was one of those moments where it could have gone either way, and you really needed the crowd to disperse.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen that before.
I've never
I haven't
seen that.
A patrol car.
No
swerve
worries,
towards a
brother.
person
No worries.
Standing in the street.
Yeah, we don't exactly know all the this just happened earlier today, so we don't know like all of the details here. My issue, like whether it's military or ICE or whatever it may be, the fact of bringing in, when it seems like there weren't riots, there weren't protests, right? These people all got pulled in there by the fact that these, military level vehicles were rolling up in here, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It only seems to exacerbate the issue at this point. Like, they should be trying to do things understated. If they're going to go in and like get a bunch of people to deport them, which, depending on who it is, I'll have my own opinions on it, but that's neither here or there. Like, why attract attention to yourself after this whole blow up between California and the federal government? This seems like a really strategically bad idea.
To try and get him out of the way. That was his intention. I guess it worked. It is clearing for the most part. That is Wilshire Boulevard that is shut down. Runs right through the middle of MacArthur Park here, and it looks like they're stopping traffic. Go to the bottom of your screen. LAPD had set up down here, and it looked like when they responded, what they do is they just get some sort of complaint that there's activity. They don't get any forewarning that something like this is going to happen, and when they respond, they will get involved with crowd control. It looks like that was their intent initially. Now, since the armored vehicles rolled out and the federal agents have left, it looks like the LAPD is leaving the scene as well. We don't know if anybody was hurt or injured or detained at this point.
Okay, Scott, thank you very much.
Yeah, my understanding is there may not have been anybody who was even detained at this point. Make sure an AA song intro just like Justical had. Yeah, actually, that would be cool. I should probably do that. That'd be cool. What's up, Yaya? How's it going? Yeah, don't like this. Don't like this one bit. I do not like seeing this. This attracts this. Look at all these people just fucking filming with their fucking phones. Because it's like, what are they doing here? What are they doing here in this kind of equipment? Like, why do we need this? This is crazy. Start stabbing tires. Well, then they'll be like, oh look, they stabbed the tires. Let's send in the fucking tanks, you know? Look, these people just need to be calm, not do anything crazy, because as long as they do that, that's going to make this look worse and worse and worse. Stabbing tracks. I mean, look at this. Look at these dudes. Look at these fucking dudes. Look at this shit. Are you kidding me? Why? I don't understand. I don't understand why we need all of this. It doesn't make sense to me. Alright. Let's see. What else do we want to take a look at? Rap, country. Well, I'm a classic rock guy. So that's one. I'm not really a fan of country, so probably not that. You do rap, but I don't really know too much rap. It might be kind of weird. I don't know. White girl music would be funny. One well-placed fart spray bomb and they're done for. Whoa. See, now you're thinking. Now you're thinking like somebody who does violent resistance, okay? That's the proper way, okay? That is acceptable terrorism right there. All right, let's see. What else did I want to look at? We got... Oh, right. This is very interesting. Ugh, I wish I could just find a regular report. Instead of like, oh, here's this thing and my really biased opinion on it. Heyo.
Hey-ho.
What's going on?
Are we one of the 7 dwarfs, or what's going on?
What, because I said hey-yo? Isn't that hi-ho?
Yeah. Hey-ho.
I think it's hi-ho, right?
No, you said hey-ho.
I said hey-yo.
No, hey-ho is what I heard, and that is what I'm going with.
We could refine the VOD. I'm pretty sure I said hey-yo. We were just about to look into what I wanted to talk about was how the city of Hebron wants to break from the PA, recognize Israel, and join the Abraham Accords.
Very boring.
Dope and awesome and based. Let's see. But of course, I can't find any videos on it that are not like, oh, here's my really biased opinion on this thing. I just want a good report. I just want a nice report. Let's see.
Oh. Do you have any interesting people on your stream?
Yeah, Casper's here.
Yeah, but Casper isn't speaking.
Casper's not speaking right now, right? She's letting you speak.
Oh no, I had Steel muted for some reason.
Oh
I
my
didn't-
god.
I just didn't want to hear your voice anymore, that's all. Unless I
Yeah.
got frustrated last time we talked.
No, I get it. It's because of his racism against bald and bearded people. Bearded people. Like I get it. It's okay.
Look,
I
you're
don't
not
think
a.
bald people is a race, but anyway,
Yeah,
what's up, Steel? What were you saying? I had
No,
to stream
it's a troll. Don't give him that. Jesus.
Yeah, no, she agrees with me. You're
No,
not a
you're
race.
both wrong. Well, you're both obviously
Bald isn't a
prejudiced.
race.
Wow. And I thought you guys were supposed to be the party of tolerance.
I am definitely not tolerant. You know that. I am very much not a tolerant person. I'm a big bully.
Hey, Cosmic. How's it going, buddy? Welcome. Alright, so I guess I'll just pull up an article then. Because there's no good. Blah, 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 blah.
I think we need to go through your perception of about bald people being a race again.
Wow, you're trying to take away our identity?
What identity? You don't have any hair. How can you have identity?
Our shared culture, religion.
Your shared culture, your lack of hair.
I'm feeling very oppressed right now.
Is the religion choice or anti-choice to have hair?
It was thrust upon us. Okay? We were the unchosen people.
Your hair ran away from your persecution complex.
Listen, okay? One day, the civil rights movement will encompass us as well. And you all
the hair just migrated
will
down.
be looked at badly in the annals of history.
Migration.
Okay?
Maybe deportation.
History
I think the balds like
will look back on this as a dark time.
For America or for the bald people?
For both. For all people who deny our identity.
Oh, you're gonna have a tall order. You're gonna have to fight with everyone. You're a very tiny percentage of the population.
Listen, America is supposed to protect the minorities, okay? Not the majority.
Yeah,
That's
but you're not a real minority.
Laws.
You're not a real minority, though, are you?
Wow. Unbelievable. After all this time, after our strong friendship, I thought you thought of me as a person.
I just said you aren't a minority.
Zog minority. Well, no, wait. What would be the bald equivalent of Zog minority? The bog minority? The bald occupied government? The bog minority. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it.
That is true. If I do put you in a bog, you will go bald.
We're so cast aside that not even David Duke cared enough to be racist towards us. That's how marginalized we are.
That is because you're not a race.
Huh?
And not black.
I am incensed. I am clutching every pearl that I have.
How dare
I said
you?
that too.
How dare you?
You only have 2 pearls.
And I'm clutching them very strongly.
That's gonna hurt.
All right, let me find a good article here. Hebron Sheik, Abraham Accords. Cool. So this is just an interesting little development. We'll see if it goes anywhere. But 5 Hebron sheiks pen letter asking to join Abraham Accords as an emirate, dismiss a 2-state solution. Wait, so they're saying they want a 1-state solution in the state of Israel?
No.
The state of Israel.
No, they're saying they want a multiple state solution. If they're an emirate, they want to be a state.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, actually. Thank you.
Fucking Jesus.
Relax, okay? That would be the smallest emirate. I'm not really familiar with the different sizes of the emirate, so I will take your word on that, Cosmic.
I mean, it's one city of Hebron, it's about 500,000.
A group of 5 leading sheiks in Palestinian Authority's Hebron district sent a letter to the government expressing a desire to join the Abraham Accords and to have peace with Israel, the Wall Street Journal reports. The letter, addressed to Economy Minister Nir Barkat, expresses the sheiks' desire to break off from the PA and establish Hebron as an emirate that recognizes the state of Israel as the nation-state of the Jewish people. Based. Then, the state of Israel shall recognize the emirate of Hebron as the representative of the Arab residents in the Hebron district. I mean, like, go for it. Like, if y'all are being chill, why not? Letter describes a proposed arrangement as fair and decent, and says, who's doing your proofreading, Times of Israel? Can replace the Oslo Accords, which only brought damage, death, economic disaster, and destruction. Barkat tells the Wall Street Journal that the old 2-state paradigm has failed, and that the Palestinian Authority is not trusted among its people and in Israel. The minister has hosted Sheikh Wadi al-Jabari. Is it Jabari or Jabari? The Jabari tribe wishes to challenge today one of the most influential Hebron clan leaders in the spearhead of the initiative and other sheiks at his home in Jerusalem. Is it sheiks or sheiks? Sheiks or sheiks?
You don't know that?
I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Oh.
Do you
I'm gonna
not
see
know?
I do know.
Well, then please tell me.
No, I'm gonna see you struggle.
Okay. I don't really care that much. All right. I'll just look it up.
Yes, use the phonetics.
It's Sheikh. One of the most influential Hebron clan leaders in the spearhead of the initiative and other sheiks at his home in Jerusalem for dozens of meetings since February. Sheikh Jabari wants peace with Israel and to join the Abraham Accords with the support of his fellow sheiks, who in Israel is going to say no, Barkat says. There will be no Palestinian state, not even in 1,000 years, Jabari tells the newspaper. After October 7th, Israel will not give it. Another sheikh who joined the initiative concurred, to think only about making a Palestinian state will bring us all to disaster. The Wall Street Journal says other sheikhs who agree with the initiative spoke anonymously to ensure their safety. Jabari has long criticized the PA and backed cooperation with Israeli settlers, but has remained a marginalized figure in Palestinian national politics. Well, that kind of makes sense. It sounds like he's sort of holding a position that a lot of them wouldn't support. But that would be cool if they would do that. Move some things forward in the region. So that was an interesting thing that happened.
The response is wrong. is, nah, mine.
From the PA?
No, from Israel.
Israel? No. Israel's not going to do that.
Well,
If they're
judging
offering
from
to
your
join the
track
Abraham
record,
Accords, no, they're not going to
I'm
do
not
that.
done speaking. Judging from your track record about guessing things, the past
Judging from
month,
Israel's track record about making peace with countries that offer peace, I'd say I'm pretty right here.
yeah, but you've been incorrect in your assessments the past month. So
I had one glaring assessment that was incorrect.
2, actually.
What was the other one?
You said the big beautiful bill wasn't going to pass.
I said it didn't seem likely that it would pass, but he managed to whip him into shape. At the time I said it, it didn't seem likely. And the crazy thing is like, they all hate it. They voted for it anyway.
Yeah. That's the party whip doing his job.
Well, I think Trump is like calling them up and like screaming at them over the phone, from what I've heard. That's the kind of shit. That's how he whips them into shape. Threatens them that they'll lose their primary and like, which like, you know, pretty fucking cowardly of them.
How is that cowardly?
For them to vote.
Of them or him? Oh, for them.
Yeah. So this is pretty
I thought you said it
interesting.
was cowardly for Trump.
The DOJ completed one of the largest healthcare-related takedowns in the department's history in July. The national healthcare fraud takedown included 280 more worried about their career than their country. Yep. And the crazy thing is like, this country is supposedly supposed to last for a long time. Their career is only going to be so long. You know, congressional careers, what? How long do they even last on average? Long do congressmen serve on average? 8.6 years for the House and 11.2 years for the Senate. So odds are, can I skate? Like, skateboard? Yeah, 12. It's closer to 12 years for the Senate. It's closer to like 8.5 years for the House. Oh, Steel left. Roller skates. I mean, like when I was younger, I haven't done it in a long time, but I guess I probably could if I tried. It's probably like one of those riding a bike things, right? It doesn't really, it's muscle memory. You don't really forget how to do it. Back in the 90s, okay, in the olden days, we used to do a lot of that roller skating. I used to roller skate around the embassy compound in Moscow. Um, 280 state and federal cases throughout 12 states, 50 federal districts. 4 Pensacola women were also charged as part of a $14.6 billion in total healthcare schemes. Now, this is a really interesting thing because I already know like a lot of like, you know, pro big beautiful bill people are going to be like, oh, this is exactly the waste, fraud, and abuse that we're talking about. But like the really interesting thing is that the investigation for this actually started, don't forget this, guys, make sure you bring this up when they bring this up, started under Biden. So this started in 2023. Alexandra Christensen, Lindsay McRae, Heather Bradley, and Jennifer Purves were federally indicted for allegedly spending nearly a decade forging controlled substance prescriptions as part of a conspiracy to resell the unlawfully obtained drugs. This was in Florida as well, right? Yeah, it was in Florida. Not a good look. Here's what to know about the 2025 National Healthcare Fraud Takedown that involved the 4 Pensacola women. Yeah, $14.6 billion is wild. 15.6 million pills of controlled substances. $245 million cash seized. Criminal enforcement 324. What the fuck does that even mean? That doesn't mean anything. 96 defendants charged. Oh, okay, sorry. Nope. I'm a retard. So this is the criminal enforcement line. Okay. 324 defendants charged. 96 medical professionals charged. Civil enforcement. $48.6 million settlements and charges. 126 defendants and 50 federal districts. This is a big one. This is one of the biggest ones. It's big. It's big. It's big and beautiful. So big. This fraud. The 2025 National Healthcare Fraud was a coordinated federal investigation involving multiple agencies that resulted in criminal charges against 324 defendants, including 96 doctors, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, and other licensed medical professionals in 50 federal districts and 12 state attorneys general's offices around the United States. Government seized over $245 million in cash, luxury vehicles, crypto. We gotta get all the crypto. And other assets as part of the coordinated enforcement efforts. This is going to go into like that new crypto thing that they did, right? For like the crypto shit that they seize. U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Florida, John Heekin, said the effort is meant to root out healthcare fraud that wastes taxpayer funds, depletes resources needed for vulnerable patients, contributes to the opioid epidemic plaguing our communities. The takedown involved various types of healthcare fraud. Okay. The takedown involves various types of healthcare fraud, including fraudulent wound care, prescription opioid trafficking, telemedicine, and genetic testing fraud, and even offenses involving transnational criminal organizations. Agua. In total, including the 4 Pensacola women, federal law enforcement says all the defendants so far defrauded various healthcare facilities $14.6 billion by stealing and distributing 15.6 million controlled substances in pill form and submitting false claims to Medicare. For the seniors. Okay, what did they do? 4 women indicted by federal grand jury worked for family medical practices, multiple clinic locations throughout Escambia and Santa Rosa counties from January 1st, 2015 until June 25th, 2024. McRae and Christensen allegedly abused access to the clinic's electronic medical record system to print prescriptions under the Drug Enforcement Administration numbers of physicians at the clinic without their knowledge. They allegedly wrote these prescriptions to people who did not exist, totaling over 300,000 hydrocodone pills and over 30,000 oxycodone pills. Bradley and Purves then allegedly sold the pills to other individuals in the community. The defendants allegedly defrauded programs entrusted for the care of the elderly and disabled to line their own pockets, he can send a news release. McRae and Bradley are also charged with possessing amphetamine with the intent to distribute it throughout the community between November 2023 and June 2024. McRae and Purves are charged with distributing amphetamine between January 24 and April 24. Operation Gold Rush. 29 defendants were charged for their roles in transnational criminal organizations, alleged to have submitted over $12 billion in fraudulent claims to America's health insurance programs. That tally includes a nationwide investigation known as Operation Gold Rush, which resulted in the largest loss amount ever charged in a healthcare fraud case brought by the department, a DOJ news release said. Are they even gonna mention when it started? They aren't, are they? Wow. Interesting. See if the DOJ website mentions when it started. Nope. Ooh, they really want to bury the fact that this started under Biden. Wow. This is crazy. Because I've seen sources who talk about how this started back then. But, like, all of these sources aren't even notating when this started. Which is fucking weird. Of course. This is the only one I've found so far that actually mentions when it started. It's fucking Axios. Jesus. No wonder people's brains are so fucked. Washington Post, I'm assuming, says it. I mean, this is fucking crazy. This is a pretty wild thing. Glad they caught it. Mission protecting integrity of Medicare and Medicaid by crushing waste, fraud, and abuse. Okay, but like, this was the biggest one in history, and it was $14.6 billion. Meanwhile, you tried to cut nearly you're cutting nearly $1 trillion from Medicaid, claiming it's all waste, fraud, and abuse. Your math ain't mathin', dog. It's crazy. Why am I talking about math? What do you mean? Should I not? Should I not talk about the math? Do I know it's incorrect? Which part? That there hasn't been $1 trillion of waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid? I mean, I don't know with 100% certainty, but considering the fact that this $14.6 billion instance of fraud was the largest one in American history, seems pretty unlikely. Hence the math isn't mathing comment. Yeah, their whole thing about... I mean, are you contending that they weren't saying that that they weren't, like, justifying the cuts to Medicaid as we're cutting out, like, waste, fraud, and abuse of the system? Because they were. This is like their whole talking point is they're like, oh, illegals, people who are fraudulent, like people who don't need Medicaid, blah, 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 blah. And considering the largest instance of fraud in American history of the medical system, it's $14.6 billion. It's a fraction of the amount that they cut. Math ain't mathing. Doesn't make sense. Unless we have like an entire... If the health state is unchanged post-cut, you're saying if after the cut, everybody's health care stays the same? I mean, yeah, if everything stays the same and nothing changes, then yeah, they would be right. But that seems highly unlikely based on, like, every reliable source's calculation. Aside from, like, the White House and the congressional Republicans who voted in favor of it. What do you think the situation is with the healthcare cuts? So you reject all of the projections from like reliable sources, reliable economic, reliable healthcare based sources that say a shit ton of people are going to get kicked off of healthcare. Yeah, I mean, sure. It's probably bloated to an extent. $1 trillion? I don't think so. emergency services will stay the same, but depending on your situation, you may have to pay a lot more for them, where otherwise it may have been covered by like Medicaid. Like there's a lot of people who through some of the changes will no longer qualify for Medicaid, where otherwise they would. That's like one of the big issues. And they're claiming it as like, okay, well, they're waste and they're abusing the system. But according to studies where things like work requirements have been implemented, work requirements have been implemented in other states, it's been shown that the results show that all it does is kick people off of healthcare. It doesn't really eliminate a lot of abuse or fraud. No. Is your solution just be like, oh, just go into bankruptcy? Is that what we're supposed to be promoting? No. But we shouldn't be cutting people out of healthcare. We should be reforming the healthcare system so it is sustainable while keeping people covered. Well, I'm not an expert on this. Do you know how? Because you yourself said it was inefficient. What about... Wait. The purpose of Medicaid is for people... Okay. So then people just don't get health care? Is that what we're saying? And in the meantime, what happens? You don't know. Well, people die. People die in the meantime. I mean, there's a certain point where we have like, oh, come on, dude. I mean, we've talked about this before. A lot of countries understand that the burden of healthcare, the cost that needs to be paid, is something we need to take on as an act of support for our fellow citizens. Just like we do with paying taxes for roads, just like we do with paying taxes for police and the fire department and shit like that. Yeah. I agree. And like, yeah, it's a huge burden on the budget, but that's like one of those burdens that I believe is justified. And yes, we do need to reform it, right? Like, public option would have made sense in my mind. Like a public pool. Yeah, Cosmic, ours is worse because we did it retarded. But it's going to be expensive. There's I mean, do you see another way to cover everybody in the country? I don't think he's trolling. I think he's serious. I think he thinks healthcare should be privatized. I mean, yeah. That's sort of the point, right? In successful countries, that's how it works. I remember this from our last conversation. You were under this idea that none of these universal healthcare systems are working. And I pointed out a couple of them, and you said you weren't really familiar with them, which is fine. But they seem to be working there pretty well. And again, Cosmic, when we're looking at universal healthcare, this is a public good. And in some cases, Sweden, we talked about this. And in some cases, you pay that extra money for the public good. This is one of those cases. Most of the time, we don't want to do that. But when it comes to healthcare, yeah, I think it's justified. So yeah, it's a burden. But Americans should fucking also shut the fuck up and get used to paying a little bit more in taxes. This constant slashing of tax revenue is stupid. And Americans have gotten completely used to having people continuously slash their taxes, and while we pay more and more and more. Eventually, we have to raise incoming revenues. And then they get used to the things that they like, right? Or the things that they have. SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. But then they don't want to pay more for it. That is also true. National security. Yes, and they do it happily, Cosmic. Across the political spectrum, Swedish citizens are happy to pay that money into healthcare. Because it is a matter of national good and national security, like Daniel said. Yeah. So clearly their system is working. And it's a universal system. Our system is retarded. I think I already said that the way we do things is really dumb. But that doesn't mean we should be throwing people off of Medicare, in the meantime, where they're not even looking for a solution. They're just like, oh, we're going to cut people out. Disguise it as waste and fraud. What did I just say? I just said our system was retarded. We need a better system. I'm not happy with the system the way it is. I'm really not happy with the system the way it was before the ACA. It's gotten worse as it gets gutted over and over again. Yeah, exactly. And that's my thing. Is you and I agree, Cosmic. You and I agree. I mean, I think after this call, I don't even think we disagree that much at this point. But my only thing is we shouldn't be, we should be working to resolve the issues with the system. The cuts to Medicaid could be good. There are potentially parts of them that could be good, not the whole thing. It's by pretty much every calculation, it's going to throw a lot of people off of healthcare. The idea that I'm saying no cuts to Medicaid could happen without people getting thrown off of healthcare would not be true, and I don't believe that's the case. I'm sure there are things that could be done to tighten up the system, make it more efficient, and nothing that anybody gets would be changed, right? But they're doing things like implementing work requirements, which have been shown in states that they've been trialed, do not help, and that most people who take Medicaid actually work. Like, it's just, and like the real problem with it isn't even the fact that they're not working enough. It's the fact that, like, proving that you're working and qualifying for Medicaid puts an undue burden on the person, and in a lot of cases they are unable to properly fill those things out. It's like procedural issues that end up kicking off all of these people from healthcare. So, like, yes, there could be good cuts that would save a lot of money, right? But then they put this, like, arbitrary, we have to cut this much so we can justify extending these retarded tax cuts. And all that's going to do is kick a lot of people who deserve healthcare off of healthcare. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Because of the big bills. The expanded subsidies. Okay. Out-of-pocket expenditures also increased. Did you know that? Looks to be about the same rate. Private insurance expenditures also went up. Per enrollee spending by private insurers grew by 80.4% from 2020 to 2023. Or from 2008 to 2023. But there's, let's see, about 40%, it looks like, or 35-ish percent from 2020 to 2023. So it looks like health spending across the board just got higher. Both private and public. Hey, what up, neighborhood? What's going on? What going on? Look at that. It looks like private insurance expenditures went up by a faster rate than Medicare and Medicaid did. Look, Medicaid even had a dip. With all those seniors who died from COVID, probably. We're arguing healthcare, neighborhoody. Are these expenditures in line with inflation as well? Or are these adjusted? Is this adjusted for inflation? Doesn't say. YouTube. No, I am aware of the UK's healthcare issues. Like, I'm fully aware of that. I've been following that as well. But like, we can't keep going to like that one example when there are also, like we said, other examples of countries that don't have this issue. Obviously, there's a problem with the way the UK raises their money for healthcare, similarly to the way we raise our money for healthcare, right? We obviously have an issue with the way we do things and we need to adjust. But my point isn't that we don't need to adjust. My point is that while we adjust, we need to keep these things in place so people keep their healthcare while we figure out the right answer, right? That's my point. All right, well, let's take a look.
Meaning they're claiming to be too ill to work. From 2002 until the pandemic, the number of people claiming sickness benefits fell steadily to a low of 2.2 million.
Yeah, Australia has a pretty well-funded system, right? I'm saying putting work requirements would possibly solve this issue. Yeah, but like, I've seen a lot of data that says it doesn't actually solve this issue. So, hang on.
Yeah, see.
Hey, we're talking.
Hablando mierda.
No, we're talking about medical coverage. Data suggests a large portion of Medicaid recipients are already working or have valid reasons for not working, such as caregiving or illness. Over half worked at least 80 hours in the month. 9% attending school.
Healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boomer.
What? Wait, you don't have health care? This is 21% not meeting requirements. But then the problem is that people who would have to apply for this, there's a lot of issues. And like I said, the problems that they saw in like a lot of these states, I think it was like Alabama or something, for example, or Georgia that had work requirements, was that a lot of people ended up losing their health care, not because they didn't even qualify, but because of procedural issues where they ended up having issues filing their paperwork on time or being able to understand what they needed to do. And that ended up making a lot more people lose their health care for it doesn't even seem like there's a lot of people who are getting a large percentage of people who are getting Medicare or Medicaid that don't qualify for it. It's not even on this chart.
Are you guys talking about the BBB?
Mm-hmm. Do not appear to qualify for an exemption. It is a very small percentage. But the problem is, these groups, a lot of these people may end up getting kicked off anyway because of the procedural requirements. Yeah, here's another thing is they raised the age for having an exemption from the work requirements. And a lot of those people, like, they might be retired or something, right? And they just raised the age by like 5 years, which they've been dying to do forever. And so now those people, it's like, okay, well now, after being retired for whatever, now you have to go get a job as like a fucking senior. So either you're going to get a lot of people who get kicked off of healthcare because they weren't able to fill things out properly. You're going to probably get like a small group of people who are kicked off healthcare who shouldn't be on healthcare. And then you're going to get like most of the people are still going to qualify anyway, and you're not even going to save that much money. So all it's really going to do is the biggest impact it seems that it's going to have, looking at these numbers, is that a lot of people who should be on it are going to get kicked off for really dumb reasons. Well, disability is not the same as Medicare or Medicaid. For example, in California, like, you are required to have health care coverage, whether you're working or not. I hope my state steps up and, finds a way to make up the difference for the lost subsidies. Medicaid is for the disabled, exactly. No, Medicaid is... I thought Medicare is for the disabled. Medicaid is not for the disabled.
No, Medicare is for the elderly.
So, but Medicaid, the ACA expansion, was meant to go beyond just the disabled. Right? That was the whole point of the ACA Medicaid expansion, right?
As far as I know, Medicaid is for
Otherwise, they wouldn't make
medical
work
reasons.
requirements.
Medical
They would
reasons,
just say if you're not
disabled,
disabled.
any type of disability, whatever. Yeah,
No,
you get
no,
Medicaid.
yeah, disabled.
But once you reach a certain age,
Then
you
it's
don't get
Medicare,
Medicaid.
okay.
You get
What would be the point of doing work requirements if it's just for disabled people? Yes, it includes people with disabilities, but it's not just for people with disabilities.
correct.
Okay,
Medicaid
okay,
also
got you.
people who can't afford insurance, like
Right,
people who
exactly.
make
That was the
less
whole
than
point.
$14,000 a year. Yeah,
That was the whole
and
point
have,
of the ACA expansion, was to do that. Low income people,
right,
exactly.
low income. That's what I said.
Exactly. So, yeah, it just seems like this is
A provision of this bill, if I can say
Go
something
ahead.
about it, that's quite interesting. And I had a discussion not too long ago about it. Um, not with you, someone else. That they put in there, they sneakily put in there that people are not aware of, is that the whole this whole Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, whatever, uh, it's not gonna happen until
until
after the
27, the
midterm.
beginning of 27. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. I think
So
I mentioned this when we
again,
were talking about it last time.
yes, and this is why messaging is important because right
100%.
now people think, oh, I'm going to lose my health care, right? And
And then
then
they'll
a week
still be
goes
on
by, nothing
it, and
happens.
yeah.
Right, 6 months go by, nothing happens. Eight
The
months go
Dems
by,
need to
nothing
make
happens.
sure they keep reminding people, hey, it's not that it's not taking away your health care, it's that it hasn't gone into effect yet.
Yeah, effect yet. Right. That's
Yeah.
where the messaging needs to happen.
Same
Because
with
then
SNAP.
people are going to be like, oh, this is what I'm saying. The people going to be like, oh, Democrats are alarmists. They're saying we're going to lose our health care. It didn't never happen. It's going to happen. It's just hasn't happened yet. So the messaging should be what you just said.
Yep.
Hello, it's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. So basically, they're trying to avoid, so that basically they don't lose votes when they go into the midterms.
Well, I think it's
That's
also
why. So
because
after,
like
no, they're
a
trying.
well, hang on, just to play the slight steel man here. I don't think it's I mean, like, it doesn't change my view of like, yeah, it's after the midterms as well. But I think also I understand it's because that's when the tax cuts get extended as well.
No, it's because they don't want to lose.
It's not
in
when
the
the tax
midterms.
cuts get
No,
extended?
it does the tax cut, but that's just a coincidence. The reason why they're doing it at that
Well,
time
hang on.
is because
I don't think that's necessarily not true. But to just dismiss the fact that that is also the time when the tax cuts get extended, and the whole point of them doing these cuts in the first place was so that they could extend the tax cuts, I mean, that's definitely a factor. I'm not saying it's the only factor, but it is a factor.
right, but it could be also a coincidence that they're doing it.
It could be.
It's been
Here,
said
let
by
me put it this way.
them.
Let me put
It's
it
been
this way.
said.
If it is not, if it's somehow not because it's happening after the midterms, they're sitting there very pleased with themselves that it is happening after the midterms regardless. So, like, I'm not trying to say that they aren't happy about that and glad that that's the case. It could very well be on purpose for that, but I also see, like, there's other potential
Right.
factors for that as well. That's all I'm saying.
You could see a lot in a lot of places, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's been said that they don't want to lose in the midterm.
True neighbor Rooney. True neighbor. They're going to though. They're fucking everything up. They're setting up a really, really good year for next year. But like, Democrats need to get off their fucking asses and vote. And I swear to God, if the tankies fuck us again,
the messaging needs to be there. People need to understand you're not going to lose your health care now.
Yep.
That way we don't look like alarmists calling, saying the sky is falling and it doesn't happen. And then it does happen. And then, you know, 2 years from now, year and a half from now, and then,
Well, and neighbor Rooney, it already kind of happened too, because under Biden, right? Because remember, they did, in case he lost his reelection, right? They did the sort of delayed poison pill of the taxes on the middle class going up to continue to fund the wealthy tax cuts in the middle of that next term, which they would have modified if he had won. But they didn't. And it's funny because, like, you'll talk to people who, like, at the end of Biden, they're like, yeah, I'm paying more taxes now. And I was like, yeah, that was Trump's tax bill, bruh. That was Trump's tax bill.
Again, again, that's why messaging is important, right?
Yeah.
Again, we need to, when people say, oh, my bill goes up, why is it going up? But if we keep pushing on that messaging and letting people know this is why you pay more taxes.
We need voices who are going to message that well. What's her name, neighbor Rooney? Who's the one that you fucking love to the end of the earth? Who is it again? What's her name? MGP. Can we not do a play on MGT, please, or MTG, please? Can we not do that? Can you just call her by her name? Let's see what that brings up. MGP ingredients. No, I know you didn't come up with it. Marie Glusenkamp Perez. She's just going to be called Marie Perez, I think. Because you know Americans aren't going to want to say that every time. She is cute. How old is she? Oh, 37. Oh, she's married. Fuck her.
Why are you looking her up like?
Because I want me a congressional
trying to date her
beau.
and shit.
I want me a congressional beau. What do you mean? She's cute. What do you want from me?
Okay.
I'd want to go out with AOC too.
Oh my god.
You know who could get an absolute hate fuck? Like the hatest of fucks? Oh yeah, her too. Her too. Well, she's not very photogenic, actually. Not a lot of good pictures of her. But whenever she's doing her congressional thingies, Nancy Mace looks pretty hot too. But in all these pictures, she didn't look that nice. Maybe I'm amending my position on this.
Really, Nancy Mace?
What?
Hmm.
Nancy Pelosi?
Pelosi. Really?
Listen.
Really?
After everything she's done, she deserves one. All right? I'll toss her one. After everything she's done, she can get one. Don't be weak and gay chick from Texas? I don't know. Who is that? You know what? Valentina Gomez? Okay, let's see. Oh. Oh yeah, she can get it. All right. Okay, here's the one. Here's the controversial one because not everyone agrees with me on this. But like absolutely in like a hot second, bro. And it would be fun too because I'd be like yelling stats at her the whole time and it would just piss her off more. Just make it more intense. Plus, you know she's got daddy issues. The ad. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is already unhinged, bro.
In America, you can be anything you want.
In America, you can be anything you want. No, they don't like you anymore. They want to deport you.
Don't be with me gay. Say hard. In America, you can
Wait,
be
what?
anything you want. Don't be with me gay. Say hard.
Did she say F word for gay people hard? Is that what she was saying? Jesus Christ, bro. She's just going for a jog with a bulletproof vest on? This woman is crazy. Stay fucking hard. Okay. Okay. I mean, if you talk to me like that, I probably will.
Hold on. Keep that picture like that, right? Okay. No, wait. Don't close it out yet. Don't close it out yet.
All right.
Look at her face in that picture and give her blonde hair, and she looks like the other chick, right? The
She
blonde.
looks like Caroline
What's her
Levitt.
name? Yes.
No, she's
Nita,
way
the
too
face.
tan for
Yes.
this. No,
Give her,
don't do
blo-
that.
give, give her that
She's
blonde
not
hair,
gonna
and she
like
looks like
this.
Caroline Levitt.
She's not gonna like that. She's too tan.
Give her blonde hair, and she looks like Levitt.
She'd be like, I don't look like that, darky.
She does.
Goodness
And they're both
gracious.
crazy. So there you go.
No, absolutely, neighbor Rooney. And that's how I feel about Caroline Levitt, too. Like, she's probably wild in bed. I thought conservatives think women should be quiet, barefoot, and in the kitchen. Yeah, unless they are good at simping for Trump and their causes. And then they like to put them up. Who is the one that had that, that really hot one who had the show with Luke Beasley? What's her name again? She's insane. But, oof. What's her name again? Isabella Moody.
Yeah, it's called the Grudge. It was called the Grudge.
Yeah, that ended though.
But it's funny, Casper, that you mentioned that because Candace Owens, she is a big anti-feminist. She thinks that women's, she's all for women
My
being barefoot and pregnant
goodness.
and being in the house, and that careers won't fulfill you and whatnot. Yet she has a career. Talk about hypocrisy.
Goodness gracious me. Oh, I can fix her. I can fix her.
Oh my God. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's a joke.
I know it's a
Relax.
joke. It's a joke, but believe me, a lot of women say that. Oh, I can fix him.
I know,
Or guys
that's
say,
the
"I can
joke.
fix her."
That's the joke.
Like, oh my God. No, just don't.
Oh my
You
God.
can't fix it.
And she's holding a flamethrower. Oh. Oh, I need to do the xcancel.com version. Fuck me.
To be honest,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You think she is not good looking?
she is pretty, but
No
she
sound.
is one of those.
Why? Why does X suck so much?
She is one of these people who
Okay, here we go.
garner attention.
This is what I will do to
by
the growing books when I become Secretary of
making
State.
people rage. So she'll say outrageous shit so that people. Because when she talks to Beasley,
These books
her
come from Missouri
feels
Public Library.
reasonable when she talks to Beasley, right?
Is it better
Because
looking?
in reality, it's all theatrics. To same thing with Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is half the shit that he says just to get the attention of.
Who would be an appropriate choice for you in this category, Casper? Give me a name, okay? Give me a name.
Appropriate for what?
She says, pick someone better looking than Isabella Moody. I don't know, dude. This girl is hot to me, but whatever.
A kid too. She's young.
Whoa! Don't say that. Don't say she's a kid. What the fuck?
She's
You
not a
make me
child.
look awkward. Jesus, how old is she?
You like little girl.
Whoa. We are live right now. People gonna clip shit like that.
It was
Don't
a
do
joke.
that. You can get me in trouble. How old is Isabella Moody?
She's really young.
She's 27.
Is she?
Yeah. And that was in May of 24, so she's probably like 28, 29 now. That's true. You're right. She is giving those vibes, neighbor Rooney.
Oh, that wait, Isabel is she's 27. Isabella Moody said that she had a little baby and that she was gonna raise her baby and give it to this one guy. Would let her baby marry this old guy, this older, well, her age. The guy's like her age. It's the weirdest shit she says. She says the most. She was going to groom her child to marry this fucking guy. That child was like maybe 3 years old.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Isabella Moody.
Repeat what you said.
She said, you don't listen to me. She says
I zoned out.
to
Sorry.
this one guy uh, that she was going to groom her child so that she could marry him when she grows up.
Ugh.
The baby was like 3 years old.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's really fucking weird.
I honestly thought she was much younger because I mean, her mental is like a child. She doesn't project herself like a woman. She projects herself like a early teens, like 19, 20, like very immature. She doesn't come across as a woman.
Yeah, I know.
Brigitte
She sounds like
Macron. Brigitte
a
Macron.
kid with like the
That's
edgy humor and jokes and shit. She's a fucking crazy
she's
person.
she, she doesn't. Brigitte, can you
Brigitte
bring up
Macron.
is that Macron's wife? Let me see her. I think she's a blonde, right?
Bro, what?
No.
What?
I'm not jealous, but the like when I go local.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
She was his high school teacher. Going off of what I was saying, what was I saying about grooming? Like, I gotta go. The Moonies, the Moody girl.
What about her?
Nibaroni's talking about. He's talking to me.
Oh, Isabella Moody. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was saying she
I'm talking about.
made some grooming comment.
Yeah.
Gross. You were talking about the woman who said she wants to raise her kid to be, quote, a good wife instead of like school and shit.
Good. No. Not raise a child to be a good wife. She was raising a child to be the wife of someone. She was grooming her child to offer her child to someone.
Gross.
Okay.
Brigitte met the 15-year-old Emmanuel Macron in La Preuve. Oh.
Oh my God.
Weird.
It is. Or did the French have age of consent?
French can be kind of weird about stuff. Like, so many presidents in French history have had like affairs, and they're all like, "Oh, that's so awesome." I'm pretty sure they thought Bill Clinton was based for the Monica Lewinsky thing. It's fucking weird. Cosmic. All right, enough of that. No more. We all feel icky. People are feeling icky.
I would say it's weird, maybe a weird point of view. I don't think humans were made to be monogamous.
Hey! I love to hear it.
Well,
I said I love to hear it.
you love to hear what?
That you agree with me on that.
I don't know. I never heard you say that, but I'm just saying.
I'm poly.
Uh,
I'm polyamorous.
oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
No, I don't know if I
Right, but
think
poly-
whether human beings are made to or not made to. I think, whatever works for an individual
I don't
person
think
should
so.
be what works with. Cosmic, I don't actually make the natural argument. I think I make the individualist argument, which is whatever works best for you is what you should do. You spelled it wrong,
get
Daniel.
that
You know what that
there's
means.
I get that there's an allure to believing that you could find somebody that you're gonna marry and spend the rest of your life with, but to me, that's rare. That's not
I agree.
common. I think people are not meant. I don't think one person maybe could fulfill every need you have. I think one person could be more caring, and another one would be, the good lover, and the other one could be, you know what I mean? But it's frowned upon in our society to have multiple people in your life or be screwing around with different people, But again, I don't think we were. I mean, what's to say? Who determines that humans were meant to be with one
Well, I
person
think that's kind of
forever?
my point, which is like nobody should determine for an individual what they think is the best for them. That's my position. No,
Well, I'm talking about
normal
more in
is a
general. Like,
meaningless. I mean,
know,
normal is kind of like a meaningless term. What's normal for you? It's like when people say common sense. What's common sense for one person
right,
isn't necessarily going to be common sense for another person.
right. But my
If you
point
can make
is
it work,
more
if
like,
you can
okay,
have that different sort of lifestyle and make it work for you and you're happy and that works, then who the fuck is anybody to tell you what to do with your own life? Like, fuck off and mind your business. It's the way I see it.
word. But what I'm referring to is like when you look at species as a whole, right? There's certain species that are mated and forever, and they don't take another partner. It's really that's how it is in that species.
Why
I think
why
the
are you
human
the
species,
arbiter, Cosmic, of what I should do? And first of all, I've explained this to you before. Polyamory is not the same as open relationships or non-monogamy. It may be a type of it.
we should make all these gooners are ruining the world. What does that mean?
He thinks all of it is just about sex. It's this really baseline understanding of what it is, and he refuses
But
to
is it?
listen to
Hold
what
on.
anybody says that doesn't
Uh,
fit into
I
his
get it,
little
but hold
view
on.
of it. Yeah, see, there it is. I'm not even gonna get into this with you anymore,
Wait,
Cosmic,
I don't
because
get
like I
into it
get
with
it.
not with
You're
me. Don't get into
close-minded.
it with
You're
Cosmic.
stuck
Let
in
me
your
hold
rut.
on. Yes.
Cosmic, you don't fucking
Please
know me.
listen. Disengage from Cosmic. Forget what he said, what they're saying. Okay. What I'm
Go ahead.
saying, let's have a side conversation, you and me, because I understand where you're coming from, and you kind of understand where I'm coming from. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm talking about is like, as a species, what is the determination that human, if anything, if you go by history, right? And we're talking about millennia, right? Throughout millennia, uh, humans have been very polyamorous, right?
Um, I mean, it depends
No,
on the society.
like Rome, when
Somewhat they have,
Romans
and
were
somewhat they
very,
haven't.
very open back.
There's not like a set way that humans have been. Certain societies, most societies, I think, have been monogamous, but not all of them.
See, that's not what history, um, through millennia. Romans were not were very open, right?
Yeah, I don't really care about, again, I don't really care about the historical arguments. I don't think any of that really, I literally, like I say, I care, for me, it's the individualistic perspective. If it works for you, if you're
I
happy,
get that,
if it
but
doesn't
what
cause
I'm
problems for you,
saying,
like with me,
but you're
I'm
not.
much happier this way. Like it makes me happier, it makes my partners happier, it's just better off that way. And we're all happy doing it. And so it's like,
Okay,
whatever.
okay, let's get away from you. Okay,
But see, but that's my point. Is my position on it is an
conversation is not you.
individualistic one.
Right. Well, you're right. It's not about you. I'm talking about in general as
I'm
a
saying
species
for
throughout
anybody. Like,
history.
I don't think doing the species-wide argument works because individual people have different preferences and different interests.
You can make that argument.
That is my argument. That's my point. This is why I wouldn't tell people, a monogamous person who
No,
feels
what
that
I'm
they're
no, you
monogamous, to
can
be
use
polyamorous
history
or non-monogamous.
to say you can go by history.
In some cases you can, and in some cases you can't.
If you relate it to individual, no, you're you're just as stuck if you do it as individual as cosmic is, because that's what the
Why?
reason. That's why you guys clash, because you both stuck on your. But what I'm saying is, historically, as a species, we've been known to be very open sexually,
That's not, no,
especially
but
in
that's not
Europe
actually
throughout
true.
millennia.
That's not actually true. Like, so there are, like I said, there are societies that are mostly monogamous. There's some societies that weren't. That's not, it's not really the case that we've been necessarily more one than the other, as far as I understand it. I think actually, if anything, we've been more monogamous than not.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm. So if
At
we
least
look up
within like
how many
societies, yeah.
is- throughout societies and throughout history, how many were in favor of or lived a polyamorous life or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably going to be, it's
You're gonna have
probably less. Family units, like, with monogamous partners have been kind of a thing for a long time. Now, like, attitudes towards infidelity or going outside of, like, a marriage to do things may have changed or been viewed somewhat differently throughout certain societies in history, yeah. But, like, you know, there's just like a whole fucking spectrum of different things people have done throughout history. But my understanding is that at least for the last like couple thousand years, probably more, probably like a lot more, monogamy has been like the norm. The norm. But like I don't care about that argument, right? That argument doesn't matter to me. The argument that matters to me is like, if you, as a person, monogamy is new to humans, okay, well then maybe I'm wrong about that. Again, my position, I don't really, I guess my point is like, I don't really, like, to me, the point doesn't really matter as much what we've done historically. So you guys could be right about that. I'm happy to grant that to you guys, right? My point is that I take an individualist approach, which is, if you are able to maintain a non-monogamous or polyamorous relationship with multiple partners and it's healthy and it works, just like, you know, if you're able to have a healthy monogamous relationship with your single partner and it works, that's great. Do it. Nobody should be telling you what to do with your own fucking life. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, don't do it. You know? That's just the way that I look at it. It works for me. You know, just like with any other relationships, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you get your heart hurt, sometimes you don't. But that's the same with any other type of relationship. And, you know, for me, I'm just much happier being this way. It makes me happy. Is this,
preaching to the choir? I don't know.
is this bugging you, neighbor?
Are you preaching to cosmic? Are you preaching to cosmic?
No, I mean, like, I'm just saying my own perspective.
We know this.
Yeah. Cosmic doesn't like it.
This.
That's his position, and he's welcome to be as monogamous as he wants to. I'm going to sit here being happy with the way that I do things. And then if one day I decide, it's a weak argument to you, But you're not the one who's polyamorous, so I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm happy.
You're absolutely right, Neveroni. There isn't between them two. There is no new ground to cover, but there is no ground to cover or a discussion to be had. But they're stuck on.
Well,
their
I mean,
position.
it just kind of irks me as it's like for somebody who's not even had any experience with this type of relationship. Like, when are you going to tell me what I need to do with my life or tell me what I think about it and how I think about it? Just because you can't conceive of that way of thinking or living. Sounds like a you problem, bro. And on that note, we can move on. Be having our Democrats left wing discussion.
Yeah, true. Yep. Yuppers.
No, Cosmic, it's just, it definitely helps for you to have experience before you can start commenting on how I think about it. Because you're not making like an argument on whether like, okay, this is how like those relationships will or won't work out. You're saying this is actually how you think about it. And I'm telling you how you think about it. And I'm claiming that you're lying without actually having an experience with it myself. I'm just putting that on you. All right, let's take a look. Or a listen. No. I think it's really frustrating when people tell you what you're thinking when they're wrong. And that's what's annoying. That's why I'm not taking it well. Because it fucking pisses me off that somebody can sit there and be like, I know what you're thinking more than yourself.
Kicking YouTube, he's coast to coast. Jordan World, dropping facts like toast. He's grilling takes, debates get wild. Micah's in frame like, bro, chill out, child. Politics sizzle, the chat's on fire. He's breaking it down like a legal flyer. Then midstream, here comes the stance, followed by the cursed chicken dance. Jordan World, oh, what a ride. Dog on his lap and debate on the side. He's shaped like a tag, but don't you forget, he can do Trump's voice while searching the net. Jordan World,
yes!
oh, what a ride. Dog on his lap and debate on the side. He's sharp like a tack, but don't you forget, he can do Trump's voice while searching the net. Micah barks like, bro, not this again. Jordan's mid-rant about Trump and big ol' men. He's deep on Gaza, quoting stats, then misclicks and groups chickpeas with hats. He's cooking takes like Gordon Ramsay, but plays connections like he's lost in a pantry. Brilliant mind, bold and loud, still ends every rant by yelling, let's go Micah proud. Jordan World, oh, what a ride. Dog on his lap and debate on the side. He's sharp like a tack, but don't you forget, he can do Trump's voice while searching the net. Jordan World, oh, what a ride. Dog on his lap and debate on the side. He's sharp like a tack, but don't you forget, he can do Trump's voice while searching the net. Chicken dance, immaculate. Hot takes, accurate. Puzzle games, tragic fate. Smart guy absolutely just yells at the TV when the anchor mispronounces geopolitical.
It's true.
Debates that spark, streams all night till way past dark. He's got views, he's got sass, he's got moves like jazz, and a dog that watches him school the mass. So hit that follow, don't be slow. Jordan World's the top kick show. He'll teach you, roast you, maybe even hug ya. Then chicken dances like the fate of NATO depends on it.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. I love it. I love it. Look, yeah, obviously it's like AI music, but the lyrics are so fucking good, dude. The lyrics are so on point. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, that was dope, Sleepy. I like this. I'm definitely... I'm definitely gonna want to incorporate this. Feel free to like work on it, do updates at any time if you want, but I fucking love it. That's awesome. I had a package that just got here, so I'm gonna go and grab it. Candy, if you want to talk to them, I'll leave it open for you to like chat with them while I'm going to get this package. Okay?
Package.
Yeah, Amazon package.
Okay, guys.
Yep. All right. Be right back.
How's it, man? Where's it going? Inspirational, like something on a fortune cookie inspirational, or what? What exactly are we talking about? Inspirational, like what? Give me an idea. What exactly? Okay, tell me on that. Indulge? You think it's indulge? Well, yeah, we can do that.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hello, Victoria. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Jordan is picking up a Amazon package right now, so he'll be right back.
Oh, perfect. Let's talk shit.
I know, right? Alright, alright,
What has he
alright.
been getting on your case about tonight? Marvel bullshit? No
No,
Marvel.
he's not. What we were talking about, the whole bill that gonna cut health care to people, and then we got into this conversation. But Jordan gets triggered because we were talking about like relationship. Anyways, I was saying that I don't think humans were meant to be one person. Like,
Sorry, Candy, can you speak into your mic or your connection's a little bit?
oh, my mic.
There we go.
Sorry, my mic.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah, that's
sorry.
better. Yeah,
My
your
mic
voice
was.
is better.
I was saying that I don't believe species as humans were meant to be monogamous. It is frowned upon to not be monogamous, but I think that
I mean, I don't know about that, but a lot of animals
yeah,
in nature are monogamous.
no. There's a lot of animals in the kingdom that are not monogamous, and there are some that are monogamous.
There are more that are not,
Yes.
but some are.
Hmm.
Whether humans are or are not supposed to be is
To me, it's more like, okay, so why do people cheat necessarily?
because we're
I think
horny
it's
and we're, reptilian.
because it feeds an instinct we have, don't you think?
Hedonistic.
So what did Jordan
Whether
get
it's
triggered
eating
by?
this, what?
What was that?
What did Jordan get triggered by?
He and Cosmic Stray get into this argument because Cosmic doesn't understand that he's a poly person. He's a poly
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
But Cosmic believes in that one man, one woman. And outside of that is like it's unacceptable. So they get into this heated argument about like different lifestyles, I guess you would say. Not that I've left that lifestyle. You know what I mean? I've never cheated on anybody that I've been with.
Well,
I've
jump
never
into an
had
orgy.
multiple partners. Huh?
Jump into an orgy. Let me know how it goes.
An orgy. I don't know if an
I
orgy would
mean, you know, just
be.
like, hey, we
No, no,
weren't
no, no,
going
no.
to, you know, be monogamous, so, you know, just get in the pile.
Right. That could.
Sorry.
That would be
Relax.
different than what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Amazing. Where's Jordan?
Getting his Amazon
He went.
packages.
Yeah, he's picking up an Amazon package.
Jeez. How far does he have to walk? When I get Amazon packages, they're literally like 20 meters away from me.
Well, he's in a condo, so I have no idea what it
Oh,
would take
yeah.
for him. But maybe he had to take a tinkle.
It's probably like get smart with the doors to
Oh
protect him.
shit! Hey guys.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
We wasn't talking shit at all.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me think you were talking shit.
Well, Courtney was saying your relationship advice or
no.
understanding is dog shit. I
Huh?
probably agree. Nothing, I'm fucking with you. Although, well, never mind.
How you doing, Jordan?
Fucking suspicious. I'm gonna be honest right
Yeah,
now.
don't be paranoid. Just be annoyed. You don't need the power part.
Everybody's coming to get me.
Annoyed.
Okay.
All right, man. So what are you guys talking about?
Fucking rude.
No, you're one of the boys. You know.
Did you go over the
Jesus Christ, dude.
Epstein stuff? Because in the
Why
title
we
it
gotta
says.
go over that again?
Oh no, I don't
Who's
know.
on the
It's in the
slut list?
title of the.
Oh, is that the title of the show?
I had to go to the
Epstein
front,
flip-flop.
neighbor. I had to go to the front of the building.
Very long walk, Jordan, huh?
It is.
Is it like get smart with the doors and shit?
No.
That's what I was picturing anyway in my head. It made the journey go quicker, I think.
No, it's just probably like 100-something meters, maybe a little longer.
Jordan, did you already discuss the Epstein flip flop?
Yes. We watched the new
and
footage
the
as
Elon breakups.
No,
breakups?
we didn't really go over that much, but obviously he's making a new party. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. He hates the bill. And that's really all we know right now.
Riveting.
Yes.
Riveting. I hear that as ribbit.
Riveting. The riveting.
Yes.
And
they're still they're still like getting mad at each other, throwing barbs online. You know, stupid shit.
Do you know why Elon got mad at Biden?
At Biden?
Yeah.
Was that like a new thing or just because?
No, this happened a while back.
Refresh me.
Okay, so is it something amazing?
No, it wasn't nothing amazing. Yeah, this is why kind of like Elon used to be a Democrat and support Democrats, and then he started hating the Democrats. Do you
Elon's
know why?
autistic and fucked. So I don't know, but yeah, he said he was a
no,
Democrat once upon a
there
time.
was
He
a
never
reason
was.
behind the whole thing.
Was it the EVs or some shit?
Yes, Biden had some. There was some type of EV thing where the car makers were invited to the White House, I think it was, to talk about EV cars and stuff, and Elon was not invited. So the reason why Elon was not invited was because the labor union for the car manufacturer was going to be a specific one. I can't remember off the top of my head which one was going to be there, and Elon had beef with that person. before because
And he's been known to be
unions.
shitty with unions and labor stuff
Yes,
and workers'
because
rights.
labor right. So he's had problems with labor unions. So because the leader of that specific labor union was going to be there, Elon did not get invited to that EV thing, and he got mad. He was bitter about it.
I don't think anybody would
And
want him there because he's shitty. And when they're,
oh,
going for a function for like EV, innovation or just, state of affairs, and you got
I
this fuck.
agree. I agree, but egos. What can I say? Men and their egos.
Elon used to be a Democrat.
Yeah, but he used to be a Democrat, and then he got mad because he wasn't invited to the EV thing, and then from that point on, he was like, fuck the Democrats.
Josh, Daniel wants you to say R&R.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
R&R? R&R? What? Oh, no. What?
R&R.
What do you want me to say? Oh, no. No, I don't talk like that. I say no. I don't go no.
Nar.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Say R&R.
R&R. R&R. R&R. R&R. R&R. R&R. Like, doesn't sounds like
okay. Talk like a pirate.
R&R.
It's talk like a pirate thing. R&R.
R&R. No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
No, you gotta roll your R's like you do.
They want you to say 1999.
1999? I don't know why you told me that. Yeah, that was fine.
You had the up.
1999. Where am I fucking up? Like.
No, you're fine.
You're fine.
Now they're saying oh nar in chat.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
I don't know how to roll my R's. I just do it.
No, yeah.
So, because when I think about rolling, I'm thinking like the weird like kind of Looney Tune tongue action where it's like I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're just singing like Joji. You're just thinking about Joji stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are you referring to?
Yep.
Yeah.
She knows. You got it.
Yeah, because I'm Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican, yeah.
Oh, maybe it's a coincidence. I thought you meant JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, that's a cherry. I'll be right back.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What do you know about that, Miss Victoria?
I mean, it's bizarre.
I know. I love that anime.
It's crazy.
It's
I
really
haven't
good.
seen all of it.
First seasons, actually, the first seasons are the best, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen the first couple.
Yeah.
And then sporadic episodes here and there.
Yeah. The first seasons, I'd say 1 through 4 were the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's up to 8 now. So 7, 8.
I also can't watch that at any time. Like I just sometimes it's like, nah, this is too much right now.
They changed a lot of after season 4. They changed a lot about it. Now when they're they're almost like screaming when they're talking, yelling, like even when they're having a conversation, they're like.
Weren't they doing that before?
It's really weird. He doesn't have a thick accent of an accent for it to count that way. Oh. Knowing. Wait, hold on. No, he said to say knowing. I don't know. I can't read it. Knowing. I don't know.
What? Sounding very
it's what they're writing in the chat. They're like saying knowing.
Is that the final form of the Australian language?
Okay, it's knowing.
That's
Noing, 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 noing.
Oh,
I'm sorry. So
1999.
they just put in 1999, and you're just making it excessively
Oh,
weird.
I get it. I get it. Noing,
You know what?
noing, noing.
It's the final like evolution of the Australian language where it becomes Chinese.
Jesus
99.
Christ.
When they invade and they take over and they change the language, you know, it'll happen one day.
Some yum yum. Something wrong.
Anunnaki Jews.
Oh no. Hey Jordan,
Well,
why do Sephardic? You answer this question. Like I don't know if you know if you have an answer, but why do Sephardic Jews get so much shit?
what do you mean?
Like I've heard people talk shit about them. Like I've heard it before. I don't know. Like I don't know the dynamic. I just heard people talk shit about
they're
Sephardic.
Jews?
Jesus.
Jews
No.
just get shit?
Oh,
Jews get
no.
shit from everybody? I mean, like what?
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
know what's the word on the street. So what have you observed about people speaking to them specifically?
Yeah.
no, I mean, like maybe it's just all like anti-Semitism all the way down, right? I don't
Are they more
fucking
into
know.
witchcraft? Are they more evil? Are they primitive? What do they say?
They're more North African, I guess, but like that's about it.
Spain, too.
Oh. So that's just one step away from the Black Jew tribe.
Oh, what the fuck? I have no idea what you're saying.
The Lost Tribe, you know, the ones that Kanye et al. Talk about. Jordan, if you could fill us in with the facts on that, because I don't know the right.
Like,
Oh,
I mean,
what, like
wait,
the Black
citation needed.
Israelites?
Yeah, the Lost 12th Tribe, the Black Jews.
Yeah, I mean, that's just fucking nonsense. There's no, like, genetic link there at all.
Imagine. I'd call you my homie.
In fact, the actual Black Jews from Ethiopia don't have any connection to the people who call themselves the Black Israelites.
That's a good thing. Because
No.
isn't that like some sort of like Nation of Islam bullshit talking point?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
like an offshoot of it. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Those people are
They're
insane.
fucking crazy.
Malcolm X? Really? Oh. Sorry,
he
Josh.
one?
Nation of Islam?
Oh, yeah, I guess Nation of Islam. I thought you were saying Black Israelite. Rasta believes that? Don't his kids live in Israel, though? Like, happily with other Israelis? Oh, Rastafarianism. Oh, okay. I was talking about the Marleys. Israel means Ethiopia to them. That's kind of weird. Is that true? Cosmic says they don't. A bunch of weed smokers who thought Jesus was some Ethiopian king. Oh.
So what about
Liberian-
Jews for Jesus? How does that work?
They're just Messianic Jews. It's weird.
Jews, though, right? They still
Yeah,
call them
they're
Jews.
still they're like Jewish except for that part, basically. They're just Jews that still follow the Old Testament, but they believe the Messiah has come.
All right, so you could, talking shit about Jews for Jesus could potentially be anti-Semitic.
Maybe.
Depending on
It
what
kind of
one
depends
would
on
say.
how you talk about it. Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying. Talking shit.
Yeah.
Could be perceived as anti-Semitic.
Could be. All right. So we have new tariffs announced today on Japan, South Korea, among others. 25% tariffs set to go into effect on August 1st. Any deals? Nope, no deals. Is this the 90-day mark yet? I feel like this is the 90-day mark. Let's see. When was the 90 deals in 90 days? Peter Navarro. Fucking idiot. What day was that? April 12th. In 4 days, it will be 90 days. And what? There's no, like, maybe one deal? Did the one with England actually go into effect? The one that, like, heavily favored England. Yeah, I guess that one did go into effect. But other than that, I don't think there was another one. They were talking about there being one with China, but that they like had an agreement with China, but like that never went through. I don't think, unless they're still negotiating. He says they're getting close to it, but he's been saying that for what? Weeks. Yeah. Well, stock market ain't happy, but it'll bounce back. We'll see what happens as prices go up. Oh, they added. Oh, they added a few more weeks. Deadline now August 1st. Next. Israel strikes the Houthis. It looks like they're going to go after them next. It's like fair game, because I think they just attacked another ship. Yep. Let's let's see. A Liberian ship. Liberian flagged, Greek owned.
Toya, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Oh. Are you watching Jordan's stream or no?
No, I'm not.
Well, Cosmic, I don't think it's necessarily that they've had more fight. It's just the operations against them haven't been like as in force, as widespread, as intense as the ones against like Hezbollah, Hamas, and not necessarily Iran, but Iran was very, very targeted. It was fast and targeted.
Can you tune in to Jordan's stream, Toya?
Hmm? I'm
Can you?
just on I'm on my mobile phone, so I
Yeah.
could do that, but then I'd have to pull out my laptop or like switch back and forth on my phone. I'm kind of lazy and I'm reading stuff for work. What's going on in the stream? Just so I can see what he's streaming.
Well, there's
They
these
have.
points that you get in the stream, and for 5,000 points, I can make Jordan do the chicken dance.
Listen, I'm actually a champion chicken dancer. So I'd love to see that, just so you'd fall over, Jordan, and look silly. For 5,000
Well, you gotta
points,
you,
I'm
you
sure you
gotta
have
be
to do a
able
lot
to.
of bullshit
You gotta
work
let
for
me know
that.
when you're tuned in so that you can watch him do the chicken dance, and then I'll redeem those points. It's 5,000 points for him to do the chicken
Yeah, well, how
dance.
long does it take to get 5,000 points?
Takes a
Oh,
while.
I have them right now. I have
Well,
6,000
do it.
points. Are you watching?
Oh, well, in that case,
You
if
got,
we're gonna make
you
him do
gotta
the
watch
chicken
him do the.
dance now,
Okay.
well, let me
Well, you
prepare
let me know.
myself. Yeah,
You
can
gotta
you just
prepare to.
you gotta find the link and
I don't think
Google
so,
it.
Cosmic. I'm seeing around over 1,000 Houthi targets versus 8,300 targets on Hezbollah. Where are you getting that info from?
I got a 404 per stream. Did
404.
yeah.
Refresh. See if it was.
Oh. No, it was just on my end. Settings. All right, let me mute myself on the Discord side, and then I'm watching.
You gotta. All right. You gotta get on Kick. Kick. That's where the stream is.
That looks to be copyrighted, neighborhoody. Y'all know I can't play that shit right now.
That's Jordan Wall after hours.
Yeah,
Should have.
right.
You
It's a post
you should
show.
have like. But after a certain time, like you put in like a different logo and put Jordan Wall after hours.
Ooh. Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2 just got a trailer. Exciting.
Well, I've got it open, so let me know when something happens, and I'll switch back. I don't have an account, so I can't like type and stuff, so I can just watch it.
Can you watch it or no?
Yeah, it lets me watch it. I just can't like
Okay.
type in the chat.
Here it goes. You can't. Jordan, you turned off. No, you can't turn it off.
Of course I
See my
can.
point?
Of course I can. It's not taking your points.
Oh, no, you can't turn it off.
I can do whatever I want.
That's part of the point.
Oh, okay, so you just wasted my
the
time, you know, like
offering.
going to your kick stream. Cool. I won't be back.
No,
anytime
no.
soon.
Don't blame me, blame Candy.
Turn it back on.
No, the
I
reason
didn't
I
turn it
came
off,
to your
you
stream
turned
was
it
because
off.
Candy had 5,000 points to make you do the chicken dance. And I said, well, all right. That's enough motivation for me.
You can't offer that as a prize and then remove it like that.
I didn't remove it.
It's
It's
not.
just paused. I can turn it back on with a flip of a
Okay,
switch.
so turn it back on.
I thought the
'cause
whole
wanna
incentive to your audience
I
was
want to
that they could
redeem
use
Listen,
points.
my
listen.
5,000 points.
I don't cave
No,
to peer
no.
pressure, okay?
You made the rules, you made these things available, and now you're just, you know, taking them away from your
Available
audience.
and then
Pretty fucked.
decide, no, I don't want to do it. You made it. No, you got to do it.
Ugh.
Let's do it. Come on. Yeah.
I hate all of you. You fucking suck.
Woo! Yes, I'm redeeming. Chicken dance. Come on. Let's watch. I'm gonna mute my mic because I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this stream.
I see nothing happening.
You see it now?
No, I might just be a little delayed.
You see it now?
It's about a 3-second delay. But I just see him some colorful shit on his screen. Don't see any chicken dancing.
It's
It's coming. Once he plays the video, then he starts doing the chicken dance.
I came on because I needed to see this.
Oh god, I fucking hate every single goddamn one of you people.
You didn't hear.
Yeah, boy, let's go.
Come here, baby.
Mind you, you're going to be judged by a professional chicken dancer.
I never claimed to be a professional. This is torture.
No. I said you're going to be judged by a professional.
Yeah, I never claimed to be a professional. This was forced upon me.
I'm the professional.
Let's go.
I'm gonna make sure it's
Dude,
extra bad.
That's fine. God. I wasn't expecting a good chicken dance.
Good for you, Benji. You should argue about it with people in chat.
Bored.
Yeah, it's boring. I don't know why they love it so much.
Cracking the fuck out.
Chica. Come here.
Come on, let's do it.
This weird little fucking Asian thing. Like the little do the head in the hands picture.
So, do you still watch and follow Destiny, Jordan?
Huh?
Do you still follow or watch Destiny?
Yeah. Most people here do.
Comments, I think, about the Texas flood were a little...
Stupid.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
understatement.
I mean, I've kind of
Doesn't
come
he
to
do that a
expect that
lot?
kind of retarded shit from him at this point. I don't even know what to do. Like I was saying to Casper earlier, I was like, you know, Tiny definitely has a tendency to say shit that doesn't help him out. It has nothing to do with politics, Benji, and everything to do with my viewers torturing me. It's how we summon George Soros. True.
That was hilarious.
I'm so glad you guys are happy. I'm not a Trump supporter, Benji.
Just so you know,
But
I was doing it with you.
we don't hate on
Yeah.
people just for supporting Trump. If you want to come in and have a discussion with people who disagree with you, you're always welcome.
Jordan, just so you know, I was doing it with you over here. You just couldn't hear it.
You
'cause I
were?
muted my mic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the chicken dance solidarity. Means a lot. But I mean, Benji, I wouldn't describe my politics as like, you know, I'm definitely one of those people where if you're still in here, I guess, that you know, who I support or don't support won't necessarily give you like a full idea of what I support or don't support in politics. I generally tend to be more Democrat, but every once in a while, Trump does a thing I'm okay. Oh, well, welcome. Yeah, pretty much everyone here in chat is going to agree with you on that point of view. Yeah, I like to work behind the enemy lines, I guess, so to speak, which is why I'm here in Kick. Nice troll. Nice troll. Huh? I'm against jokes? Why am I against jokes? We joke a lot. We make a lot of jokes in here.
I'm gonna not eat you.
Jesus.
Go ahead, Jordan. My big beautiful bill.
No, I was just a little salty for a little bit because I step away for 2 seconds and I come back to hate on Jordan Sesh. What the fuck was that about?
There's no hating on you.
Hate on?
Candy was just recapping what you guys have been talking about.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Why did you assume that?
Because I came in and Victoria was
And
like,
I
we're
told
talking
you,
about
we were
shit
talking
in
about it.
relationships.
Yeah, you forgot who told you that.
Oh, yeah. True.
And I probably
They're to
was
blame.
talking shit, because that's what I do.
Okay, fair enough. They're going to blame Dems and
And then I
transsexuals
vote.
when they lose their health care and food aid. I know. So one of the things we've been talking about is like one of the most important things for us to do is to make sure that we do not stop messaging on this bill. We make sure they know when it's going into effect, which aspects of it are going into effect when, how that's going to affect people specifically. The thing is, we do have the one thing sort of in our favor, which is that it's already a pretty... I know it passed already. It's Jover. It is Jover. We have to do our best to deal with what we have. But it is... We'll call it Trump care. I like that. It is an unpopular bill. Not just by Democratic standards, right? It's generally thought of as pretty unpopular. So there is a way to message this that's going to do well for the Democrats. They just, if they win in 26, they have to make sure they do not shut up about the fact that, hey, you know, this shit is coming and it wasn't our fault. That's the most important thing. It's going to be tough, though. It's going to be tough. Victoria, have you had time to like look over the bill yet?
A little bit, but I've been pretty busy with work and some other things, so I just really hear the periphery of what's going on. I haven't really deep dived into
Fair
it.
enough.
I know that we talked about that. I was going to, but you know,
Nah, no worries, dude.
things
No
happen.
worries. Life happens. Yeah, I hear you, Benji, but you know, we got who we got, right? We kind of deal with the hand that we're dealt. I want a party that's stronger right now as well, but we've got who we got. Hey, at least every single one of them voted against it. Sleepy. You rascal. But yeah. That's we were having a discussion about healthcare earlier on, actually, in the stream. Talking about different countries, how they approach healthcare, which ones are good, which ones are bad. What Cosmic and I, as usual, were arguing, even though we were on the same side, actually, as it turned out by the end. Even though we agreed. We're just so used to arguing with each other. Hey, Josh. Welcome back.
Welcome. I mean, that's what you said.
How you going?
Recovering.
From...
Oh,
late
the weekend.
late night with his cousin, right, Jordan? Fuck. Oh, I didn't know the mother.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no.
Jordan, Josh, whoever you are. I'm like, yeah.
That's okay.
God.
I didn't hear that. Anyway, moving on.
This probably doesn't happen as often for Josh, but my name Jordan, I get called Josh, I get called Jason, I get called all that shit, so I'm used to it.
Have you ever been called Juicy before?
Juicy? I mean, not in that context.
That's Daniel.
Wow. Okay, we went there. Juicy Jordan.
Oh, God damn it.
I don't care for that. We'll just have to call you
I don't care for that shit.
It's just not an ad. It's just not a descriptor I would use. No offense.
None taken.
But then again, I don't usually look at people like
Yeah, you don't really speak that way. That's not... Yeah. The comedic timing of that was on point, though. Like, just to be clear. That was hilarious. Winner. That was a winner.
There's only one juicy person in this server.
Juicy Jordan Jolly.
Oh, jeez.
I'll work.
Jolly?
Stop
Workshop
what
it,
you're
yeah.
doing. Stop.
Julie?
I don't like it. Stop.
Crunchy.
Crunchy. Oh, that's right. I'm crunchy. Yeah, there's only one
And
juicy person in the server.
So we
Yeah,
can move on.
Daniel Liddick. Let Daniel Liddick or whatever. He is juicy.
Oh,
I did-
Daniel, you're getting called
he
out
asked
as
his
juicy,
name to
bud.
be changed back, which I did.
I
was the one
didn't.
I was the one who did it. Yes, I admit it.
That was you?
Well, I didn't come up with it.
I'm surprised. You don't usually engage in such
because,
mishigas.
You put people in charge of your server, don't really know.
Yeah, people I thought I could
was like,
trust
"Oh,
not to be goofball.
You think I came up with calling Daniel juicy? Again, like
No,
you pointed out,
I
that's not in my
definitely
lexicon.
don't. Yeah.
But I definitely did it. And then I changed it back when he, brought it up, I think. Or maybe you did. I don't remember. I think I did. I don't know.
Yeah, I ended up having
It was
to
the best nickname
be
ever.
the boss. Ugh, I hate that. No, he
Jolly
has those
Juicy
pants
Jordan?
though. So what pants? My like my little PJ pants? What are you talking about? What are you laughing about? What
You
did
just
you
sent
say
me a
just
funny
now?
gift.
Oh my god. Your juicy pants. Where are these juicy pants?
That was actually the gift.
They're just
That
like
was the
PJ
gift.
pants.
What actually? That was the gift that actually inspired me. Actually, to be honest.
Is that what it means to
Lovely.
touch Daniel Liddick?
Lovely.
Is that from the Pick of Destiny? I can't remember what movie that is.
The pick of Stephen Bennell. Sorry.
Oh no.
Again.
No. No, Tenacious D.
It's written on the ass. Oh. Yes, Cosmic, you're right. The entire time I've had juicy in big letters written on the ass of my pants. It's my bad. I've been hiding it from you guys. I wear them every
That's
stream.
messed up, Jordan. Why would you do that?
Yeah, well, it's for me. It's not for you.
Fake fuck. No offense. It's like, it's not for me. No, definitely not for me.
Well, then what? You're asking about it. Jesus.
That's fuck.
Goodness
Anyway.
gracious. Well, photo MAGA is 50-something rural dudes. Oh, no. Jolly Juicy Jordan jumps jovially. Oh, now we're having
Oh,
fun.
no.
Now we're having fun. Oh, God. I just need to find some fucking video to put on in the background, because at this point... I think I went over most of the stuff I wanted to talk about today. Let's see. Yeah, we did the Epstein stuff earlier. The healthcare fraud thing.
That all of a sudden disappeared.
Oh yeah, we didn't quite talk about how suddenly there's no Epstein list. And all of the things that basically were part of the official story are being confirmed. What a fucking surprise.
So why are you guys just, taking that shit hook, line, and sinker like, oh my god, Epstein?
What?
Wait,
I'm not. I've been saying since day one that the official story was probably the right one.
I mean, Epstein is probably a good guy.
Wait, the official story of what aspect? With
That
the
he killed
Epstein
himself
stuff?
in prison?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any other proof to.
Well, we can
I
pretend
mean,
to
no,
know
I mean,
and
like,
then
I'm
just go on with
not
it.
saying that I know for sure. I just think is the most likely
Yeah,
one.
just go with that. That's fine.
Yeah, it seems
what
to make a
difference
lot
does
of
it make?
sense to me.
Well, I
There
mean,
has to be a list. I mean, how would he know who to invite to his little parties, soirees, if there
What?
wasn't a list?
Oh,
he gets a big blue
I
book with
don't
a
know.
Democrat on it, and then he just goes through the numbers.
If there wasn't a
He
list,
has to have. How would he know who to invite to his soirees if there wasn't a list?
I have no idea. This is speculation.
Exactly. There has to be a list.
No.
And
all
he
you
had
said
these-
all you did was ask a question, and then I said I don't know, and then you drew a conclusion from I don't know.
He
No,
keeps a
I
big
didn't draw a
naughty
conclusion.
list, like
I
Santa
asked
Claus
a
night.
question, basically, kind of like, how would you, right?
Yeah. Did
If
he
there's
have a
no
list? Did he check it twice?
Exactly. He had
Was he
these
trying to find out if you were naughty
He
or
had an
nice?
island, and he invited people all the time. So if you're
So
not
his
inviting,
list.
how do you know? Who do you know who to invite if there's no list? There has to
Santa
be a
has a
list.
list.
You don't really. Why would you need a list to invite people when you already know them?
Because the parties were specific to doing certain things. It's like
Anyways, I'd
Howard.
be asking for his little black book, his little address book. Where's the address book at?
Well, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. The list.
Well,
an address book's not a list.
Yeah.
It is. Is it not a list of names?
And addresses and emails, probably.
Okay. It's a list. It's a list.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It's like,
We have flight
it's
logs.
like
There were
Diddy,
flight
right? Like
logs.
P. Diddy. How did he know to
And
invite
GPS
certain people
coordinates.
to his freak offs if they didn't know they weren't into those freak offs?
Ask Hassan.
Business, baby. Money.
Ask Hassan. He went to
No,
one.
but it has nothing to do with money. If somebody did not get invited to, he would know that that person would not be into that. He would invite people
Well,
who
why
were,
was Noam
right?
Chomsky on his jets? Why was Bill Clinton on his jets? You know, some of them were just there, and some of them, I don't know.
Why was Trump
We're
on
not
his
talking
jets?
about the jet. We're talking about
Exactly. I
the
think a lot of
island.
people rode
We
on
talk,
his jets for
no,
different
we're talking
reasons.
specifically about the island. He had this island, and in that
Yeah, we know
island,
about the
certain
island.
things happen.
It's not
Right.
in
We're not
dispute.
talking about taking a ride on an airplane or something.
Yeah, we don't know who was at the island for that.
That's my point.
For that
It's like,
purpose.
you know, the only-
We know people
For
went to
that
the
purpose.
island. We don't know who was going there for that purpose.
Correct.
But people
We
just
kinda know one
assume because
person.
rich and
Was it-
powerful
was it-
people are
was
like
it-
spooky. Oh, you know, like, oh, they must be doing something terrible. Ooh.
Well,
Was it a prince, a European
Prince
prince?
Andrew?
Yes. Wasn't he caught up in some type of underage Epstein shit?
I don't know if did it have anything to do with Epstein. I don't know if it had anything to do with Epstein, but he was definitely in
Into
some
underage.
shit.
He
Yeah, some shit.
apologized.
But he was also part of Epstein's little list too. He would go to his island.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance that he went there for that. Just like there is with anybody else. How far above non-zero is the question.
Well, if he was into doing that shit, and Epstein was offering, even Trump said, he would have very young.
So what
girls
you're
there.
saying is like, yes, those things are like correlated, but the problem is like, we still don't have like we don't know, right? Because like it could be. I mean, could you say that it could be coincidental that they both were into it? They might both have not. I mean, like maybe that's not the case. We just don't know, right? We just don't know.
Just because you went to the island didn't mean that you engaged in, or at least we don't have proof of, one engaging in certain acts.
Even if you were found to have engaged in it separately. We don't know if they went there for that.
Does,
it definitely is suspicious, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we still don't know. We don't know for sure. Which is why I said there's a non-zero chance. The only difference is like with anybody else is like, how far above zero is the chance. And for someone like him, since, he had a history of doing some shit, it's probably a higher than non-zero chance. Like one of the higher than non-zero chances than some of the other people. But we don't know. Because a lot of this shit was like classified. Or not classified, like sealed.
Thank you for correcting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Bill Clinton got on in that shit.
Oh, hey, what are you accusing me of?
Not another affair. Children.
Listen. No. Listen, look, Bill was a bit of a weird guy, but I'm a big fan of a lot of his presidency. I know Victoria has obviously
Yeah, I know.
obviously have
I know
some-
you're hesitating because I'm about.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's talk about the sorry Democrats. Let's go.
I know how you're gonna feel about Bill Clinton, and very
Yeah,
rightly
all
so.
LBJ's, social programs. But anyways, continue.
Well, he also balanced the budget.
Oh, we had a trade surplus. You know why?
No, we had a budget surplus.
Yes.
Budget surplus. Yeah. It was a big deal. And, I got to meet him when I was a kid, which was pretty cool.
I met him a couple of times. It was all right.
He was nice. He held my sister for a photo op.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. We were living in Moscow. I came to the embassy.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Indeed. There's pictures. I have to find a picture because there's a picture of it somewhere. I wonder if it's on my Facebook. If it's on my Facebook, I might be able to show it. You see little me. Little tiny Jordan. And he played the saxophone. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Does Trump play any instruments? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
He has people play instruments for him.
I mean, pretty sick, Play instruments.
All right, let's see. Scroll. I don't think he listens to music. You might be right. He does do that weird little dance. I mean, actually, that's probably more evidence that he doesn't listen to music. Oh, man. Scrolling through photos on social media. It's always fun, right? Takes you back. Oh, good times. Acting school. Oh, fun times. I found it!
Let's see.
Okay. There's 3 pictures.
Bring it on, bro.
Boom. So there's 3 pictures. That's my dad. That's my sister. That's me. There's Slick Willie.
Wait, where? There's Bill Clinton right there.
Yeah, me, my sister, my dad, Bill.
Can you make it bigger?
I think that's about as big as I can do it. My dad, my sister, me, shaking his hand.
What? Okay, that's your papa shaking his hand?
No, that's me shaking his hand. Little me.
That's not you. Oh, wait, little. The little boy in the blue.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh my God, you had hair.
I wasn't bald. I wasn't born bald and just bald for my whole life.
5 years old in this.
You weren't born bald. Most kids are born bald.
No, babies are born with hair.
Not all babies.
I just shave my head my whole life. Jeez.
Yep. Oh my God, Jordan with hair. What the fuck?
90s cut.
Hey, so the bowl cut, yeah.
That's my little sister. That's my dad.
And the pink dress. Oh, and your dad is holding your little
dress,
sister
in the
up.
white dress, yeah.
That white dress? I see
Yep.
pink.
No,
Okay,
it's
never
white.
mind.
And then I'm shaking Bill's hand. It was super cool. And I think there's one more picture.
And you're like, did you know whose hand he
And
was
here,
shaking at
yeah,
the time?
here
No way.
he's. Oh my God, yeah, I did. I loved Bill Clinton.
It's-
My parents took me into the voting booth in '96, and I got to press the button to vote for him.
Can you do a Bill Clinton impression?
Well, of course I can,
Yeah.
Candy. It's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites.
And so, yeah, Dad's shaking it. My sister doesn't know. She's like, what? What's going on? But I loved Bill Clinton when I was a kid. A huge fan. I guess we can't really see anybody else, but Hillary's there, Al Gore is there, Madeleine Albright is there. Like, the whole crew is there. Definitely an awesome memory. So yeah, this was the gym at the embassy compound in Moscow. So yeah, this picture was taken in Moscow, Russia. Fun time.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. This is when we were living in Russia. He came to visit the embassy.
And who's the guy in the suit next to Bill Clinton?
This guy? I don't know. He's probably Secret Service, I guess.
Okay. Yes, that guy.
Yeah, he's probably Secret Service. Fun times. I guess Mom isn't here. Mom was probably working. Anyway, yeah. Happy times. Simpler times. Ooh. Little me in Niger.
Let's
That's
see.
me.
Oh my gosh. See, you didn't have that much hair there.
That's hair, though.
That's
I wasn't bald. So, yeah.
You realize I'm fucking with you, right?
Yeah, of course.
I hope you do.
Of course, yeah.
That's cute because y'all dressed the same. The
Me,
same.
my sister, my abuelita, may she rest in peace, and our cousin Lee.
Abuelita was pretty.
Yeah. A wonderful.
And who's the
grandmother.
baby?
It's my cousin Liam. Son of
And which one is you?
The son of the uncle that I talk about. Who's
You're the one with the white shirt, aren't you?
Yeah, this is me. Tooth gap and all.
Mm. Yep. I
Yep.
see it.
That's still the same. And then there's my sister. Is that a Tickle Me
That's your
Elmo?
sister?
No, it's not a Tickle Me Elmo. This is just an Elmo doll. And let me tell you something. These eyes, okay? These should be considered a lethal weapon. And they should not be given to children, okay? I had endured many an injury from the eyes on this Elmo. You have no clue.
Yep.
No clue.
Let me guess. She tossed it at you, like swung it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep. Yep. 'Cause those things are made out
This
of like
was in
this hard
Russia.
plastic.
This was in Russia as well. Look at me. I'm Robin from that god-awful Batman and Robin movie. It's my mom is a witch. Dad is just dad. He's probably passing out candy. And then obviously Helena's Simba. This was also in Russia. Oh, this is one of my favorite pictures. I'm such a good brother. Yes! That's true, Nate Rooney. Everybody knows, bro. If you had a sibling with a Sesame Street, like, stuffed animal, you knew. That shit hurt. This is one of my favorite pictures. I had this as my profile picture for a long time. This bear is Abby. I have had since the day I was born. And I'm going to show you all something. 34 and a half years. Still here. She's still here.
How many times have
Sits
you
on the
mended?
top of my dresser. What?
How many times have you had to mend it?
Never.
Wow, that's a good
Not a
toy
single
then.
time. Yeah. I know, baby. This is Abby. This is not a toy. You do not bite this.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a shame it lasted all this time, 30-something years, and then
Yeah, and then
your
Mika
dog
just tears it
destroys
up into pieces. This is mine. This is not your toy. Okay? You have plenty of fucking toys. You're fine. Nice, Neighboroonie. That's awesome, dude. I want to find... I used to have a blanket as well that my grandmother knitted for me when I was just a little baby. And I need to find that because that's a really, like, sweet thing. And I want to give it to, like, you know, my kid one day. Let's see, what else? Oh, in Barcelona.
Yeah, it's a. You know, in Puerto Rico, there's a place called Parque de la Paloma in San Juan, and it's just like that.
It's just like that.
And
Yeah.
and they sell you bird seed.
Yeah, it was really
It's
cool.
and the pigeons, those pigeons are awful.
These ones were fine. These were chill.
Yeah, the ones in Puerto Rico, is I don't know, it's the same, but yeah, it was awful because they have like little claws, so when they climb on top of you,
Yeah, I
they
mean they have
claw
the
the
little
fuck out of
claws,
you.
but like, you know, it
Uh-huh.
wasn't that bad.
Because they clawed the shit out of me, and they got caught in my hair. Oh my
Oh
god.
no, they were pretty chill. I got two, one on each arm, and then one was chilling on my shoulder. It was pretty cool. And then yeah, this was in
Yeah, no,
Barcelona.
I was attacked. Like the ones in Puerto Rico, there's a lot of them, and they all jump on you. Like it's like being in the movie The Birds, and they're coming at like that. It's pretty crazy. Like this is chill.
Just having a
Like the
conversation
palomas are
with them.
just around.
This
Yeah,
one was
no,
particularly chill.
yeah.
Particularly chill. Let's see if there's any more fun ones to look at here. Oh, this is just a sweet picture. Is the Australian guy still here? You should ask him about his experiences with native birds. Josh?
Birds.
Yeah.
What about them?
I don't know. What's it like in Australia?
Loud? That's a very, very broad question. I don't know. Like, what's it like in Australia? Well, the sun's out. It's winter, so there's not as many birds. But there's a magic fuck ton of like.
Magpies. Hi.
Oh, I wish.
Hi there, Mr. Magpie.
I wish there was magpies out.
Donnie and Clarence.
They usually.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually watched that on the weekend with my cousin.
Nice.
Rewatched it. But
Kiwis are in New Zealand, Cosmic.
Yeah. Lots of cockatoos around. That's not a swear word.
Does he go
I like a
falconing?
cockatoo.
Do you go falconing?
What?
Do you go falconing, Josh?
Usually requires a license for that. So
Yeah. We have a falconer in our neighborhood to chase the seagulls away. It's pretty cool. Every time he's around and like Mika's nearby, she's like, "What the fuck?" Fair dinkum.
What's a
Daniel says in chat.
What's a falconer? what's
A
falconer?
falconer is somebody who's like tamed and like has a falcon that they use for different purposes.
That sounds wild.
Yeah. This is another picture.
I'm pretty sure they exist here.
Dude, me and my sister were so cute. We were such cute kids.
there's not many birds out at this time of year. It's in summer. It's just like it's literally like a rainbow of different shades of bird.
Wow, gross.
What?
You said a rainbow of different shits of bird?
Oh, no, shades.
Oh, shades.
Shits of birds. Oh my god. Rainbow shits. Never mind.
No. I thought it was like the different species. These have like a slightly different shade of shit. I thought that's what you were saying. And so it's just like a tapestry. A beautiful tapestry of multicolored bird shits.
That would be concerning, but no. Yeah, during winter you might see maybe 2 or 3 species, but like in summer it's like countless. Like I could literally like run out of fingers. Yikes! That's so stupid.
All right, I think that's it for my pictures. Unless there are some more. Oh. Oh, look at me, Dad. Hey! Again in Russia. Outside of Moscow, obviously.
Oh, that's beautiful. The background.
Yeah. We used to take some pretty cool trips out in the middle of the country. Some of these pictures would be good for Time Guesser, to be honest.
Word. When are you doing your dailies?
I don't know. Oh, here's a fun story. All right, first of all, goofy face me. Yep. Right? Look at this little fucking goofball. So here's a cool story. So, when I was living in Argentina, play some Russell Howard jokes instead. Great. When I was living in Argentina, this guy, we had been friends in Moscow. My mom was like, hey, he lives here now. Let me, link you guys up and you can hang out or whatever. And so we did. And, my mom gives me this picture and I upload it. I'm like, yo, brother, like, what's going on here? And I guess it was on, like, my old account that Facebook ended up deleting because, it was in the very early days and my school wasn't registered and you know how that was. This guy, as it turns out, was at school, my school in Argentina. He's a friend of mine. And we had no idea, zero clue, until I posted this photo. And he goes to the comment section and he goes, yo, that's me. And it's just the fucking craziest thing. We had no idea that like 10 years later, we'd be at the same high school. And I'd post this picture and he was just randomly in this picture. It's kind of fucking crazy story.
That's cool.
Yeah. The fault is very small. Oh, this is about to trigger some tankies. You guys ready? Oh, man, this is so funny. Oh, my God, you guys are going to laugh so hard. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm so excited for this. All right, you ready? Boom! Yo. How about that? Before it was cool. Good call. This was taken in Jordan. We rode camels to Petra. It was very cool. And I see a lot of these people. I see a lot of these people wearing the Jordanian keffiyeh. But it's just kind of a cool thing to like Be like, look at this. This was my prom date. Noella. Yeah, sweet times. Good times. Where's Daniel? Daniel needs to see this. Daniel, where are you? Josh, can you see my stream right now?
Nope. Sorry.
Definitely go to my stream and look at the picture I have pulled up. You're gonna laugh your ass off.
Give me a second.
Yep. You can take a Native American throw blanket and wrap it around your head. They'd be none the wiser. Dude, it's true. Like, if you see some of the, like, people who get, like, interviewed at these protests, they've got no clue. And it's, like, no wonder they're telling people not to answer anything to the media.
What does it say on your shirt? Capitola,
California.
Capitola.
Dude. Look how cute my little sister was.
She is adorable.
Adorable. Those cheeks. Oh my goodness. With a tablecloth on and see what happens. I dare you. What's up?
What were you saying?
Go pull up my stream on Kick. The link is in general. And just look at the picture that I have up on the screen right now. And you're gonna laugh, bro. You're gonna be like, no fucking way. And then you will know, as I've been saying my whole life, that I've been following this fucking conflict forever.
That's an awesome picture though.
So I am in Jordan. I am in Jordan in this photo.
Oh, Jordan in Jordan. That's pretty. That's pretty
and,
self.
Rode a camel to Petra, which was fucking cool. Jordan, Iranian sleeper cell agent confirmed. Candy. Oh, no. At least leave me on in the background, Candy. So I get the view. Thank you. And we'll miss you. We'll see you next time. Yeah, buddy. How about that? Didn't expect that, did ya? Let's see if there's any other pictures from Jordan. Oh, yes, there is! Look! Ah! Look at that shit!
Man, camels are weird creatures, aren't they?
They were pretty chill. I mean...
Are they?
Yeah, this was like, what? This is probably like 25 years ago. I'm sure this camel's probably long gone, but he was nice.
Oh, buddy.
So yeah,
What
this
the
is
hell?
Petra. This is where they filmed part of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was just gonna. I was gonna say it reminded me of something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jordan was cool.
And isn't that where he like?
Can you see chat? So why isn't it a row? And here the rest of us were playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I was fucking looking for Carmen. Okay, Gumshoes? I was out there. So now, Josh, you have to listen to everything that I say, because now I have authenticity.
What? Oh, I see what you've done.
Listen, this is me. This is
Oh
I'm
my
going
God.
hard on the Husborough right now. Okay.
It reminds me of Douglas Murray. Have you been there?
Have you been there?
It's like, no, I
I could be like, yes, I have. But I also mostly agree with you on this topic, Douglas, so we're not going to argue about it. Oh,
His
jeez.
accent makes it so hilarious. Have you been there?
Oh,
It's
this
like,
is
what?
a cool one. It was funny how he lit up Cenk. Cenk is... he means well, but sometimes he comes across as a deeply unserious person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has some pretty, I would say, like, almost like counter to reality. Like, he'll say things that do not match what's happening in reality, and you're like, oh my god, just give it up, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll just literally run with his own narrative, and he just gets really angry about it, and I'm like, dude, I don't know.
So, I think this was...
Yeah, I think he means well. I think he means well, too, but
he
he's
does.
just, he's too emotional.
Yeah. Did I tell you I've met him once?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
he does seem like a decent human being.
Very nice in person. Yeah.
I
Had a
think
little
it's just
conversation with him. He was very nice.
His emotions run wild sometimes.
I
it's just
imagine
like, yeah.
he's a lot nicer than I think Hassan would be in person. Yes, Cosmic. Unsuccessful grifters can be very nice in person. That doesn't mean they're automatically dickbags when they talk to you. He was very personable. That doesn't mean I now co-sign everything he's said or done. So this one
is that a submarine?
It is. It's a yellow submarine. I don't care for nice people, Cosmic says. Goodness. All right, what else we got? Oh, another one. Oh, I loved reading to my little sister. Good times. This was a cool book. It like imagined animals as gigantic robots, and then it would do like a whole cross section of like the robotic version of this animal, and it would like teach you about the actual parts of the animal while like showing it in like the robotic way that they did. It was just a cool like sort of speculative biology thing.
I think I've seen that book before. Let
me see if I can find it. Yeah.
I do recall seeing a book like that with robot animals, and they're like, yeah, I do remember that.
I think it was like Robot Zoo or something. Let me see. The Robot Zoo. Yeah, that's what it is. The Robot Zoo. Yeah. Looks like a lot of it is pretty lost. You know, they don't show it so much anymore, but this was the book. Or they had like an actual exhibit. Oh, they ended up doing an actual exhibit. That's really cool. But yeah, this was the cover of it. Pretty cool. I had an old set of encyclopedias from the 80s. Used to thumb through those all the time. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Collier's, yeah. So that was a cool book. I liked that one a lot. And then I think that is the end of my childhood photos. Oh, and there's some from my class in Moscow. Oh my goodness, school play. Oh, that's just a nice picture. Good times. Oh, prom! No way. Yes or no? Do I show a prom picture? Yeah? Alright. Get ready, y'all. You're about to get shocked But bam, look at that. That's right. That's right. Your boy was prom king. This is my date, Noella. She was very cool. King of the Nerds. That's not generally what they give a crown out for. Give out a crown for at prom. Look how little I am. No facial hair, full head of hair. Good times.
So when did you become Kratos?
Like a couple years ago.
True. I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
When my hair starts falling out.
And then
I'm looking forward.
Guys, so you guys have heard Ryan on the stream. Y'all have interacted with his goofy ass in chat too. So this is Ryan. This is me in high school in Argentina at my prom. Wild times. Wild times. Yeah. Xiaoman NY Xiaoma NYC. That's funny. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, memories. At the bar at like 17, maybe 16. Toasted. This would have been like before we went to the club. Man, the 2000s were a fun time. Did my ID say McLovin on it? No, I lived in Argentina and they didn't give two shits. Alright. Enough of that shit. Fucking boring. Sorry. This is an old Thai lady that owned a neighborhood bar that we managed to get into when I was under 21. She was funny as hell. Awesome. Play some Prince Andrew jokes? Cosmic. Alright, that means I gotta end the YouTube stream. Alright, YouTube people. If you want to keep coming, if you want to keep watching, you want to keep going. You want to keep watching, come on over to Kick. www.kick.com/JordanWorld. Come on.